I need that sports encyclopedia. We West Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
he's. Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
What up, man? What up? We are in the building. It is Free Game Friday, so tap that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. We got a loaded lineup on this Free Game Friday. NFL legends, Major League Baseball legends. We got them all, short, fat, skinny, tall, plus Shaun King joins us as well. So 4 amazing guests today on a loaded lineup with my main man, Big Smitty. So pound that like. It's the realest show on planet Earth. Legendary offensive mind, head coach, coordinator, the coordinator of the greatest show on turf. Mike Martz joins us here in the first hour or so. Bill Romanowski, legendary linebacker, tough, hard-nosed, shit-talking, nasty football. What he used to be. Bill Romanowski joins us. And Major League Baseball legend Rex Hudler joins us, along with Shaun King. So we're going to talk it all, plus the Masters talk, golf, how Smitty's 5 and my 5 are faring right now, as we've already teed off round 2 in Augusta. And, loaded lineup. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member. You see the thumbnail, though. Nico at Tennessee is just the latest NIL beneficiary, or shall we say casualty, however you want to word it. But the truth is the game is being ruined because of what we used to call the root of all evil. Money is creating a false sense of success, and success means long-term careers are being destroyed in high school and college before the NFL ever gets their hands on these kids. There's a reason why the Browns just signed Joe Flacco to be their starter, people. Wake up. If we don't fix something, the game will be watered down, that the NFL product will be unrecognizable. These kids demand money from the team that they're already giving them money to. How do you focus on your craft, your team, your teammates, if all we are doing is chasing new money before we ever make it to the NFL? This is simply crazy talk, man. Why are we destroying the fabric and destroying these kids' futures for instant gratification? And the people who believe it is okay and think all these kids are in the right for demanding it at 17 to 23 years old are crazy. This is not the way to do the NIL thing. But what do I know? Let's dive right into it, man. My main man, my Far East Sider, Naptown legend, 317, LeBron hairline, having Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Ball State, chirp legend, Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty. don't like you big. I don't like you bigger when I'm small.
I'm always bigger than everything.
You know.
Tell it how you want it. Tell it how you want it, homie. I'm bigger in every little area category. I'm bigger. But anyway, it's Free Game Friday, the best day of the week, my favorite show of the week, because we just free game. We just freestyle. We don't look at the rundown at all. We do whatever we want to do the entire show. It's not produced. It's off the cuff. So y'all tuned in to a great show. And listen, we wouldn't be us without young Bailey in the background doing this thing. My co-host Jason right here, wild as ever. And, of course, people in the chat like David Robinson, Justin Corvino, whatever his last name is, Robert Sains, Boston Richie, Sherm, Ryan Pettis, Sergio, Ron, and Kyle Bad Dog 508. It's going to be a loaded show, homie. I said somebody's last name wrong. Justin Kovenig. Sound racist.
Justin what?
Kovenig.
Copenhagen?
I don't know. He here though, and he green. So shout out to Justin.
We got a loaded lineup. A lot going on today, man. A lot going on. We got
hella guests. Like really, this first hour, let's get out all the BS out right now.
What's 1 hour? BS?
You know what you be on. All the little racist stuff, all the sexist stuff, all the political stuff, all the wild stories, all the sexual stuff. Get all that out. We got 1 hour to get that out your system. Because once the special guests come on, Bill, all the legends, we got to be buttoned up. I might change my shirt when they come on. I might put a button up on when they get on the show. Polo or something.
Professional.
Yeah. First hour, though, non-professional. Let's just do whatever we want to do this first hour.
Yeah. My homeboy sent me a video or a picture, man. They found, what's that name? Tank Deas? Is that her name?
The woman, Dank Deas?
Yeah. Is that her name?
I think so. You sent me some on Instagram yesterday that made me throw up.
Oh yeah, that video. Nah, not that video. They found something of hers and they're gonna archive it.
What?
I guess she's made such a impression that they're gonna archive. I guess something they're gonna bury it for the future to see.
Oh, and freeze it and save it so the future generations can. Okay, almost like a museum item. In a sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think Bailey has a picture of it. I'm going to show. He's going to show in a minute. Yeah, it's like they uncovered it and then they're going to bury it and cover it.
It's actually historic. That's pretty dope, bro, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for her, to have a legacy like that and be able to give back.
Take a look at it.
Oh, my God.
They found what?
Nothing. Go ahead. Oh, my God.
They're going to bury. This is her draws. If anyone can't tell, this is Dank Deas's draws, and we're going to find them. We're going to keep them, and we're going to keep them for the future so people could see what I don't know, what are they, giant, dinosaur, whatever you want to classify it as later on when you guys take over the whole world, you young generation. That's what they're going to put it in the history books. Like I send it up in space in the capsule on me.
That look like Goliath draws on me. That's crazy. Oh. Goliath from the Goliath was he's a giant in the Bible.
Well, they're like a shortcut, whatever G-strap. So anyway, that's funny, but that's what it is. We got a lot of people. Mike Martz, legendary play caller, California,
and he actually played too, by the way.
California JUCO legend, by the way.
Drafted by the Yankees, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of cats don't know about California. Everyone we bring on is always from California.
All the time,
yeah, nobody from Indiana. But
I really don't like it almost. I'm gonna start booking the guests.
I know. It's funny. It's numbers. It's just.
I want Indiana guys though. I want Greg Oden on here. I want Mike Conley. I want Jeff Teague. I want Eric Gordon. I want guys like that on the show.
Yeah, it's hard to find those guys. Indiana, not a lot of guys.
I just keep going. The list is crazy. Zach Randolph. Isaiah, Michael Jackson, RIP, the Jackson 5. I want to get them on here.
Yeah, not really a lot of guys, but yeah.
I can keep going forever.
Yeah.
Mike Epps, Vivica A. Fox with the Arlington High School. I can just keep going.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's dive into it, man. My homeboy, man, we was on the yacht yesterday. And today's Ruben's birthday. Shout out to Ruben.
Happy birthday, homeboy.
Yeah.
For you? Yeah, man, for you. Happy birthday, homie. Yeah, man, for you.
I'm trying to take Ruben out on the yacht again today for his birthday. He called in sick. And the main reason he called in sick was a text message that I got, Smitty. Unfortunate one, man, from the homies, Cisco and Ruben. White folks, shame on us, man. We're going to Home Depot. And Smitty, if you want to read it, this is what happened.
It says, breaking, do not go to Home Depot and pick up 10 Mexicans and ask them to retile your house and then call ICE so you get free work done and then reward money for turning 10 illegals in. Don't do that. Wow. This is 1,000% racist. This is crazy. This is I can't believe I just read what I just read. This is insane. They're saying do not do this, but they give you the full plan of what to do. This is literally verbatim what Jason would do. Like by the book.
Well, no, that's what happened yesterday, and that's why I wanted to let you guys know what happened. So, pretty good scheme, actually. Pretty good scheme.
Told y'all.
Ruben, shout out to Ruben. Ruben got caught up in the scheme. They found out he don't even speak Spanish, and he's straight American, so they let him go back in and get on the yacht. But, yeah, it's crazy. They're actually scooping cats up from Home Depot, and taking them and having them clean your whole, do your whole house, fix everything. So I'm thinking about today,
oh my God,
having them come down and clean the boat and shit, and then doing this.
And then what?
So, I
love Mexican. So I made the video the other day.
I love
my food spot, La Pasadita. I told you I might be 1 of 4th Mexican. I think I am. I love my Mexicans. So
you're African, not Mexican.
I would never call on them. Yeah, I might be a Afro-Cuban though, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? What?
Cuban got some black in them because Cuban's got ass.
Definitely got black. I just said Afro-Cuban.
Yeah.
I got Mexican in me for sure. Somewhere, I don't know how close, but I love the culture. I love their food too much. See, the way I grew up, I never even thought like that.
I know. I know that you take my.
I would just talk. I would never even They didn't.
Well, speaking of Mexicans, man, we got a new segment on Friday, Free Game Friday. It's called Translate This. And I've been trying all night and over the night and trying to figure this out, but it's one of the cats from Home Depot, and I can't figure out what he's saying. So I want you to take a look and tell me what he says.
But G, I told you from the beginning it can get like this. Diamond on my neck and I couldn't collect. On my mother I came up, put it in line. Y'all got the key to success. Rich, she, just by the truck, big pole out, yeah. Whole crew, much span work, got this shit done quit.
Oh yeah, that's pretty simple.
You're nodding your head. You're nodding your head, homie. Like. We'll play one more time.
One more time.
Go.
Hey, look, G. I told you from the beginning it can get like this. Diamond on my neck and I couldn't collect. On my mother I came up, put it in line. Y'all got the key to success. Rich, she, just by the truck, big pole out, yeah. Hold
on, real quick, man. I'm good in the beginning, and then I lost them. So I'm
hey,
look,
G, I lost them. I told you from the beginning it can get like.
So hey, G, I tell you from the beginning you get right
like this.
Yeah, okay.
Diamond on my neck and I couldn't.
Diamond on my neck.
Okay.
I collect on my mother I came up.
And I come collect on my mother I came up.
On my mother.
Put it in line. Y'all got the key to.
Right there.
I put the knife down and I got the key to.
Rich, she, just by the truck, big pole out, yeah.
Bitch,
whole crew, much span work, got this shit done quit.
The whole crew did they band work. Hold on, play it again. The whole crew got their band work.
What?
He said the whole crew got their band work, and then I didn't hear the last one again. Can you rewind a little bit back? I'm sorry.
Whole crew, much span work, got this shit done quit.
The whole crew, the whole crew got their band work, got that shit done quick. Yeah. So basically, like, just to summarize it though, he's saying like he came from nothing. Like, he came from the fucking ghetto, from the hood, no handouts, nothing. Had to get it out the mud. And he basically said him and his crew did what they had to do to come up, to get their money, to get their jewelry, to get their cars. And he not saying he proud of it or happy of it. You can judge him if you want to. But he chose his life. He sold his soul to the devil. And he's not going to hide from it. He's not going to run from it. This is what he wanted to do to change his life because he didn't like the lifestyle that he had. And listen, I would never agree with somebody who sold their soul to the devil because, I'm a God-fearing man. But he's standing on what he decided to do. So he don't care about the post-life and where his soul will go. He cares about what his life is going to be right here on this earth. And he was willing to do what he did and do what he does in order to get this money and to live a certain lifestyle that he wants to live right now. So he's just kind of telling you what he did. He got ice on his neck. You know what I'm saying? Him and someone had to poke a few boys up, pause. You know what I mean? Take their money, buy their trucks, and they live in life.
Yeah. This is a problem. We got a problem in Houston. Our kids are fucked. Society's fucked. This guy needs to get his ass just drugged straight down the street and just thrown somewhere like in a hidden, somewhere hidden, man. Dark. Nobody sees him again. We got a lot of problems out here, man. Like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, I just, there's nothing else about it. Here's the cool part. Shout out to the cat for learning a new language within our language and then creating a new one. And it takes a lot of work. 10,000 hours easy. 10,000 hours easy to make. Like, that shit is hard, homie. And then
he's also off the Percocet too, though, the pills and shit. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I think he's a white boy, homie. Let's make sure we're clear. I think he's a white boy trying to act like something he's not.
He's super white. Yep. He got a taper fade.
He ain't Mexican. He not fucking Puerto Rican. He not fuck. This shit is embarrassing. I would slap the holy fuck out of him.
If you was his age, like, go back to when you was JB and you was like banging, right? And like you came across him in your hood. And he walked up on you and said that.
Yeah, he would have just. It wouldn't even came up to me because he would have already got.
I know. I'm just trying to make it as I get it.
Yeah. I'm saying the little homies would already got him.
Right.
Like this, we'd have laughed at him. Like, what the fuck?
The little homie. So you saying you was like the big dog in the hood to where you had people. Okay. I got you. Big JB, huh?
You know how it works. You know how it works. So
yeah, I know how it works. I just didn't know you was the guy. Like, I know you was the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was that guy. I was not the other guy. I was the guy. Let me ask you something, man. There's a few names that popped up to me, and I wanted to ask you what you think of these names, and fact or cap, are they real names? These are ladies' names.
Okay.
The first one's name is Adder Titsoff. So look, A-D-E, what? A-D-E-R is their name.
Yeah.
And their last name is what?
Titsoff.
Yeah,
T-I-T-S-O-F-F.
Yep.
Real name. Real name for sure. That's fact. That's a fact.
Ding, 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 ding. Fact.
I've heard of Adder. Now, the Titsoff is kind of unique, but I've heard of Adder. I've heard that before.
All right. This name is Ass Muncher. A.S. Muncher. Factor cap.
Oh. Okay. At first I would have said cap, but once you spelled it out and put the A.S. It's a fact, homie. Fact.
Fact. Ding, 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 ding. Ass Muncher is a real bitch.
Because the AS stand for something, homie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Ashley Simpson Muncher, like something like that.
Or actually ass sucker Muncher. But anyway,
pause.
Next one, Smitty. Fact or cap, Amanda D.P. Throat.
That has to be cap. There's no way that's a fact.
Beep. Fact.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Amanda D.P. Throat is a real name. She's a doctor.
Was she in L.A. or what?
Why in L.A.?
No, I'm just curious. Like, is she like local or is she just somewhere far or what?
Why would you want to know though? I'm saying you gotta go peep out. See her?
We got fans who live out here in Cali who need doctors and need checkups, and she might fall under their insurance. They might want that deep though.
I've been looking for a fucking picture all night. Anyway, let's go. Next name, Chris, spelled like our Chris, K-R-I-S. K-R-I-S.
KRS-One.
Hug and kiss.
Hold on, what?
Chris Hug and Kiss. Hugginkiss.
Chris Hug and Kiss. Chris Hug and Kiss. Chris Hug and Kiss. Chris Hug and Kiss. I'm going Cap, homie. Ain't no way Hug and Kiss is a last name.
Big fact. It's true. Real name. Hug and Kiss. All one word, homie. HUGGINKISS.
That's crazy, homie. I ain't never heard that name in my she's the only Hug and Kiss. She ain't got no family. Like, she's the first Hug and Kiss.
Google it. You can find them. Probably white people shit. Here's white people shit. Here's fact or cap. Is it real? Fact or cap? It's white.
Okay, 2 questions.
Go hump.
Go hump. Go hump.
It's go/go hump.
I'm gonna say fact, and then I'm gonna say cap. It's real. It's not white people shit.
Good job. BPS all day. BPS.
Ain't no go because the mama and daddy probably from DC, like the DMV area. They got a special like music they like,
or Bama, Georgia.
But the go is like a specific type of sound and music that's really big in DMV. You probably would know about that real black type stuff. So yeah, that's black people shit.
Last one, Smitty. Fact or cap? Lisa Lick.
Lisa Ann or Lisa Lick?
Nah, this Lisa Lick.
That gotta be a real name, homie. Fact.
Yeah, real name. Fact. All of it's fact today. All of it's fact today. Next week I'll mix it up, but today was all fact, and you missed 2. So good job.
It's okay.
Yeah, first time.
I got a C+, B- grade. That's cool.
Yeah, Justin Bieber in the chat said that's his cousin's name.
Lisa Lick? That might be your actual people.
Yeah.
Justin, can you get her on the show last hour?
Maybe.
Last 50 minutes put her on the show?
Let's dive right into the quote of the day, Smitty, because I've done some due diligence as I was traveling back home in traffic from the yacht last night, very inebriated, intoxicated. I thought of a lot of things. I was like, all right, let me think about a lot of things.
Don't do that, people. If y'all driving drunk, don't drive drunk. Call it.
These are the crossways you talk about.
Stay in the back, like, what's going on, homie? That's what I'm saying. You get drunk, you start acting crazy on there.
They say I got a BBL, homie. The bitches are tagging me saying I got a BBL. I don't get it.
BBL Brown. BBL Brown. Hey, make a Kevin the Trucker. Make a song. So start off right there. JB saying the bitch is saying I got a BBL, and then remix it and put Drake's and Sexy Red's instrumental underneath it, and then put my voice on there. BBL Brown. BBL Brown. Come on, Kevin the Trucker. I just challenge you, homie. Let's get it. I need that by the next hour.
Look, I had some other shorts on the boat because my boy Spree spilled his whole drink all over him on his sweat, homie.
Why Spree? Spree always like falling in the water, dropping his drink.
And the cat. So I tagged Marcellus on it last night because Marcellus, last time Spree was on the boat, Marcellus was with us and we had the incident.
Look at Spree on there, like that's the black people shit. He hold on to the TV.
Yeah. And then
look at Spree. He swagged out too on the yacht though.
Yeah. Well, yes, because Marcellus tagged him and was like, Clip City Nation or whatever the fuck.
Clip City, Chip City.
Because they're the only 2 Clipper fans in LA.
Yeah.
So like it's Spree and Marcellus, only 2 Clipper fans in all of LA. And
I know 2 more. I know 2 more Clipper fans.
But they're not. I'm talking about these are real ones though. Like that's it.
Clipper Darryl, my homie Gabe, and then the homie Trey.
Yeah. So I don't think they're in LA no more though.
Okay.
But yeah, these 2 cats, only one in LA. Here's the thing though. Smitty, I lost my $1,500 Ray-Bans in the fucking water, homie.
You stupid mother.
It was only 10 inches or whatever.
Hold on though. So I'm still trying to get to the water though. But I'm supposed to put my foot in and get the glasses.
Let me give you a little context, homie. So I was leaning like this, just chilling sitting down. And then I had my glasses, like, around your head, like with a hat, when you got a hat and you got them here.
White people shit, yeah.
And I fucking did like this. And then all I hear is, you're out. I'm like, what? And then so I look, fuck, homie. So 4 of us sitting there. Then the motherfucker's floating, kind of. So I'm like, fuck. But it's like a 7-foot drop from the boat to the water, homie. It's a high ass off the water. Fuck. So I try to grab them. They floating, and then they going down slowly, homie. I mean, dog, BPS.
I was like teasing you almost like, come get it.
Yeah, BPS kicked in though, homie, because I said, Spree, give me the fucking broom. And then Ruben, give me the broom or whatever. Spree brought me binoculars.
What?
So he said I could see them to know where they are.
Well, he probably thought you was gonna jump in because you white. So he's like, put them on so you can go in the water to go grab them. You should have had Ruben jump in. It wouldn't be his first time in there.
He was trying, homie, but there was a lot of activity out there.
What kind of activity?
Two wells died. These motherfuckers are out of the water.
How they get up there?
I'll show you.
Oh, it's a shark. I told you. Shark. Homie. It's a shark. I told you. What do I know?
What do I know? That wasn't even a situation to say that shit. He said, motherfucker, what do I know?
Why these motherfuckers out the water just chilling, you think?
I'm gonna say shit. I ain't might get bit by that motherfucking shark. Come on,
homie.
There's a shark right there in the water, homie. Get your ass up here, homie. Hold your head up.
So I don't know. And where we posted up wasn't too far from this, so I was like,
Hey, the whole family went up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole family said.
By the way, homie, we went to several. We went to.
That's hilarious, homie. I'm sorry. They got 8. What's they called? Otters?
The gaga?
Seals? They got 8 of them all up the. Hey, homie, this kind of funny, bro.
Hey, we went to another.
Smarter than what we think, bro.
We went to another spot. There was 11 out on the water on that one of these things.
That's crazy, homie. I'm still trying to see how did they actually? Their core got to be extremely strong to come out the water. And
I think they was up there on high tide and stayed.
Oh, okay. That has to be that because there's no way the motherfucker stay always to the top like that. Ain't no way that happened.
No,
you gotta have a
seal. They're not. We don't have otters out here.
I could do that, but
yeah, those are seals.
Same thing.
Yeah, not even close to an otter. But yeah, it's
what's an otter?
Sea otter.
Yeah.
Sea otter's got a little flipper. They got 2 front teeth, nasty. They're
them real ugly looking things.
They're not really ugly, but
with
they're
the mustache, like the long hair right here with it.
Kinda, yeah. Not a leopard seal.
See, you getting too crazy. Did you major in marine biology, homie?
Leopard seals will fuck you up, homie. They're no joke either.
It was marine biology.
Here's what's going on in Long Beach right now. If anyone wants to do some real research.
What happened?
Ash dreaming.
He over there talking in his dreams.
Let me dive into it. It's Free Game Friday, so everybody has to wait for Nico talk and all the other shit in the sports world. I'm sharing my life story right now. So
take your time.
Thank you. So I was 2 wells washed up right by the boat, dead. Mm-hmm. One blew up.
Oh, what you mean?
Intestines, everything, everywhere.
How are you talking about?
Well, what happened, Smitty, in the decomposition portion of mortality, morbidity, and death? What happens with death with certain sea animals and mammals, because they're mammals like us? They capture gases inside when they pass.
Yep.
And what happens is if you're close enough when they blow, you could die. People have been killed by the explosion, just like a bomb. And through the decay of the process of the morbidity, it dies. Methane gases capture in there, and it blows out the entire body. And the carcass just exploded right here in Long Beach. Then another well washed up, and then we've had multiple dolphins dying out here. So apparently this is God's way of controlling the population, because usually every year or two, this happens in the Southern California waters. I know Joe Accord would probably know this since he knows all things weather. What happens is we have a thing called bloom algae, Smitty, on the West Coast. And the bloom algae comes out, and it actually is very toxic to sea animals like seals, dolphins, whales. And we've had a lot of dead seals, dolphins, and whales. So that just happens. That's kind of how the life works. And then they feed the other animals when they pass. So unfortunate, that's how it works.
I just took a whole course in marine biology right now.
Justin said that's not true. So
So everything you just said was just wrong.
I guess. Yeah, I've been living here for my whole life, and I
mean, you do have a skill set of making things sound true, and they be wrong as hell though. So I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm so ignorant to this topic. I don't know if Justin's right or JB's right. Let us know in the chat who's right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for a long time.
Homie said methane gases. You use all types of words you never use.
Who said this though?
My guy Peter said blue algae is a staple for fish diet. The fuck you mean?
Smitty, did I say blue or bloom?
You said bloom.
Okay. Now, can you tell him to shut the fuck up?
Peter, JB said shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Never mentioned blue algae. Never. I don't even say the word blue. Hate blue.
I don't even like blue.
It's called bloom algae, you fucking tard. Knower of all things. When are you going to start getting embarrassed for your motherfucking self because you don't listen and you're a fucking idiot? When are some of you going to have some humility like a bunch of fucking idiots and say, you know what, I was wrong? Like you come in here every day and you continue to be wrong and say we're wrong. And it's a fucking embarrassment. Just shut the fuck up. If you can't hear and you got dick in your ear, just shut the fuck up. Because it sounds like you got dicks in your ear. Hey, baby, can you come in my ear so I can hear you coming? You fucking weirdo, man.
He said, what the fuck is the decay through the process of morbidity?
What happened? I got booted. I got straight FA straight eliminated my account.
Let's not mess with him, man. Luciano, he said, "What the fuck is the decay through the process of morbidity?" You did say that bar and said it like real, like seriously. Like,
I knew I was fucking around with that. That doesn't even make sense. But a lot of they don't catch it though. They don't catch a lot of my shit I say. But anyways, man, let's get to the quote of the day since we haven't done anything on the show.
My favorite type of show. I like when we don't do anything. No responsibilities.
Smitty, brought to you by BetUS TV. Head on over there today. The Masters are on right now, second round. Let's check our scores after this.
Yeah.
Quote of the day, Smitty. If I have to explain my worth, it's already too expensive for you.
You should already know my worth, homie. Hold on, hold it. We can't see it yet. It's not adjusting. It's all white light. We still can't see anything yet. We see a black dot at the top. Just
TikTok had removed my live. Normal.
I mean, you did just cuss somebody out 2 minutes ago, homie.
But I wasn't cussing out on TikTok. We should make some sort of app where they know who we're cussing out if we're on multiple things, because that's what a lot of people do now. Why not? That's a lot of money maker, homie.
Don't make sense. That's silly. It's people can hear you on TikTok.
Cat's like top 29, top 50.
No, top 50 for sure. That's a good one. Because like I shouldn't have to explain my worth, homie. You should feel my presence. You should know my worth. You should know what I'm bringing to the table. If I gotta explain it, it's already too expensive for you.
Yeah, I am though. That's what I am. Contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you head on over today and pick your Masters second, third, and fourth round. You can make some money still, even though we're in the second round on BetUS, because you can actually predict the cut line and make a lot of money.
I love BetUS, homie. It's so like user friendly, like BetUS TV, obviously, but then their other site as well. Like it's just user friendly, easy. You make so much money on there, man. I love BetUS.
The truth doesn't need to be defended. Contrary to belief.
That's it. Like ain't nothing else to it.
That's it, Smitty. When they can't match your character, they go after your reputation in real life. That's what happens. So then I always told myself the truth doesn't need defended, homie. You don't gotta defend the truth. I didn't say blue algae, Smitty. I didn't say blue algae. I didn't need to defend it, but the idiot in the chat thought I said blue algae. What the fuck you talking about? Blue algae is for all the fishes to eat. We got all the fishes. They live on blue algae. But bloom algae, which I said, kills things. But anyway.
Gene the hater. All 9 members are Smitty fanboys. You mad, homie? I got fans? I know that hurts you, Gene. You so mad. Why do y'all like Smitty? Go like Jason more.
Because you know why? I'm not gonna ever lean on Gene's side over you.
You better ever do that.
But I am right now for this reason.
You just said you wouldn't do it though.
Because a lot of the cats are trolls, fake accounts. Like they're doing it to fake just to like get at me.
Hold on, homie. Who made this? Send it to me right now, homie.
Nah,
no,
can't use that no more,
homie. Me right now. I swear to guys.
Can't use that no more, homie. Wait, who did that, homie?
Hey, send it to us right now.
No. Shut the fuck up. You fucking Hamases. Bailey, shut up!
Hell no. What is this, AI, homie?
I'm back at 5, homie. We didn't took over the game, homie. I ain't riding no dick, homie. We just agree on something, homie. I'm never going to try to predict or talk about another man's dick side.
This is like, clap it up. Whoever made this is
What's
like.
What's going on with this? What's going on with it?
It's the Barbie dolls. They're doing like, so you know, LeBron got his own little Ken doll. We talked about it on the show yesterday.
Now who's making that shit? What do
I
you
don't know how they're doing it. I've been seeing a few of these. I saw Paul Pierce had one, but I don't know what they're doing or how they're making it. I want to learn how to make it actually.
Your boy Kevin the Trucker did it, homie.
Hey Kevin, you got to me how to make these, homie, for real. Cause like I want to hold on. He got like our actual fits on here though. Like I have a picture with this exact fucking outfit on, like those shoes and everything. It's hilarious. And that's
that's years old right here, but
that's
I wore
your
that.
exact fit. Those stinky ass shoes, no socks on.
They're not the shoe. I don't wear dress shoes like that, but they're like no, they're boat shoes though. But like he got my book, my cigar.
Homie, this is hard. It's one of my favorite things. This made my day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need the picture right now. I need every. Let me click on this link. This is hard. This is hard, homie. This is hard. This is cold. Fuck the show. I'm cool now. I'm good.
You straight?
Yeah.
Will that blow out me?
No. I'm about to repost this on Instagram. This is hard.
You fucking Hamases. Bailey, shut up!
I'm gonna just post the picture though.
That hand should have some yak in it, like a glass.
Yeah, that's the only thing missing.
Should have. He did a hell of a job. I'm just.
Why was my stuff all sexual shit?
I don't know. And a weird laugh.
The laugh was perfect. The laugh was my laugh.
Yeah. 20 minutes before Coach Mike Martz joins us, let's dive into the poll question, Smitty, real quick. Then we'll touch on the Masters and where we sit. Smitty, what LA team do you trust most in the playoffs? Lakers or Clippers?
Trust most? Gotta be Lakers, and that should be an easy one. That's a no-brainer. How can you trust the Clippers after we've seen what they've done year after year?
So far this morning, Kendrick Perkins, Jay Williams, Richard Jefferson have all said the Clippers they trust most.
Come on, homie. That don't even make sense. And I know Clippers are playing well. Kawhi's healthy. James Harden's been hooping all year. You know, they got Norman Powell been having a career year. Could have been an all-star this year. Ty Lue, a guy who I respect. We got the same barber. He paid for my cut last year. Like, I respect who they are, but I can't trust a team that year after year after year, something happens. Just something, whether it's an injury, whether it's just somebody gets ice cold in the wrong time, just something weird happens. And I can't tell you what that something's going to be this year. We always got to sit back and just wait and see, though, because every year the Clippers are going to click. The Clippers have had better teams than the Lakers multiple years before. You know, you go back to the Blake Griffin, CP3, DeAndre Jordan years, but something would just happen. We just had Paul George, Kawhi, and something always happens. So I'm just kind of sitting back and just waiting for that something to happen, whatever that may be. I'm not wishing anything. I'm not wishing death upon their lives. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a curse or what, something always happens with the Clippers, so I just can't trust them.
Yeah, here's the deal. In this watered-down era, in this landscape that is so mentally soft and fragile, the the older heads in this series or in this tournament, which is about to be the play-in, and then ultimately the NBA playoffs, is going to prevail. That means the OKC team's not yet ready. Minnesota's not yet ready, even though they got a little battle-tested last year. They're still too young. They got rid of Townsend, the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to surprise people because of their maturity and experience, along with Boston already has been there.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland ends up being put out before we expect. I like Donovan Mitchell, but I think they're young. Houston will be put out early because of their youth. And I like Houston. I wouldn't fuck with that team. I would just let them continue to play in the playoffs and get experience, and then next year they'll get better and they'll get closer.
Shout out to Ime Udoka, because listen, he got a lot of backlash and everybody want to make jokes about whatever happened in Boston. That's a hell of a coach right there. That's a hell of a coach. And if you pay attention last year,
shout out to Nia Long too.
We saw the rock. Shout out to Nia Long.
Yeah, she got fucked over.
Shout out to Nia. She's great.
Yeah, but your boy that you just gave shout out to fucked her over. But go ahead.
Great, and she's great though. She's still fine. In all categories, she's good. Anyway, last year we saw what the Rockets was doing. We saw how the season ended, and they ended the season 500. So you pay attention, he was like, "Oh, they're going in the right direction." So I'm not surprised that they're rolling the way they are right now. I was gonna make sure we show love when love needs to be shown, because there's a lot of jokes, a lot of people putting death, on them. People make mistakes, people mess up, people whatever. But he's a hell of a coach, homie. He's one of the best coaches in the game.
I'm trying to fuck.
Man, Neil Long would never touch you with a fucking 10-foot pole.
You don't even know. I've already had a drink with Neil Long.
You would never have a chance with Neil Long.
I've literally had a drink with Neil Long in my life.
Hey, whatever. You know people who know people, homie. I'm saying it ain't like you was on some one-on-one shit with you and Neil Long, homie. She would not touch you ever. If me and you was both single, I guarantee that I would have a higher probability than you. I guarantee that's not even like nothing to think about. She all black woman. She straight cocoa butter spritz. She's
like white boys,
greens, cornbread,
like real ones though, like real white boys though.
She don't like you. Anyway. You're not her type, homie.
Most sisters like white boys, especially now.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Ain't no most. Ain't no most, homie. Ain't no most, homie. They go to white boys when the brothers unfortunately do wrong. When the brothers do wrong, they give y'all a chance. They natural instincts to come to us, homie. Stop.
Not.
Ask any real sister.
No, that's in your circle.
No, I know a lot of people.
No, stop. Your circle, homie, you got to stop associated with the world, because your circle is very delusional.
I've been around the world, homie. I'm not just saying.
No, you haven't.
You don't know my circle, homie, first and foremost.
Stop. We know your circle, homie. It's way left, and it's super, and that's all. Stop.
Your circle racist.
My circle,
all right.
Circle,
KKK.
My circle is everybody, homie.
Your circle, black, KKK.
Mexican, white, Puerto Rican, Cuban. I got them all. Short, fat, skinny, tall.
Your circle is Gene and Ron, homie. Just think about that. Your two biggest fans in this show is Gene and Ron. Think about that.
You gotta have your sniper. Homie.
Think about that though.
You gotta have your snipers, homie.
That should tell you something, homie.
You gotta have your snipers, homie.
That should tell you something, homie. But let me read this topic right here, though, man. Let me scroll up, get to the rundown. Bailey highlighted for me because it's a big time deal. Tennessee and Nico NIL are in active contract negotiations ahead of the 2025 season. It is unclear if the negotiations will impact whether he enters the spring transfer portal. Nico's multi-million-dollar deal was one of the first large NIL contracts, and the college football market has adjusted significantly, especially at the QB position. Nico threw for over 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 picks with a completion percentage of 63.8. Woo! 8 of those touchdowns, though, came against UTEP and Vandy. But stat padding or not, he showed some flashes. So I got to ask you, man, just what's your take right here, man? What's going on, man? Break down the situation, Jackson. There's a lot here.
I texted his pops, who was my college teammate, of course, Big Nick, and I just wanted to try to get him on the show today. We are so loaded. I'm gonna try to get Nick on the show next week. Here's the thing: I don't know. This is and I'm trying to be honest and not biased or to my boys or whatever. But here's the issue: everyone's doing this now. This is an ongoing issue for these kids. And I don't know if maybe Bailey knows, but correct me if I'm wrong, Smitty. didn't he get a big deal out of high school already going to Tennessee?
Yeah.
And then he played as a true freshman in a bowl game only, and then last year was his first starting year, and now he's already in renegotiating terms.
Yeah.
So I want to do some research on a lot of little things here and find out, like, you know, is this an ongoing deal for a lot of people? I'm curious. Is this an ongoing deal for everybody in the country? Like, is you know, Carson Beck, did he renegotiate? Did you know, all these different quarterbacks at these other schools, are they renegotiating as they say, hey, I'm taking my fucking talents to goddamn Ohio State next year, to Oregon, if they pay me more? Like, that's where we are now, Smitty. It's a bad precedent we're setting, man. A team that already gave you money. And listen, I don't know the scenario. I know Nick and I know the family. I know Nico. I know that whole family and what they've come from and all that. And I get all that. And I'm cool with it. But this isn't NIL, homie. This is pay to play. And now we're getting to a point where the greed is going to cloud the development. Let me say it like that. The greed will cloud your development as we're seeing development really lack. And I mean this by saying this, Smitty. If you're going to chase bags of money, I don't really know the focus level of you and your teammates and you and your wideouts, you and your study of the game and mechanics and fundamentals. How hard are you really working on all of that towards going to the NFL and being a great NFL quarterback, which you and I will ultimately be judging at the very end of the day? Not how good you were in college. We've had unbelievable college players be busting in the NFL. We know what this is. When are we going to start focusing on and making the main thing? I don't know, man. This is a bad, slippery slope because it's only going to get worse from here, not better. So, like, I'm all for the money and all this, but it's pay to play, man. It's not NIL. The NIL thing should be off that doll we saw. If you want to sell bobbleheads or a doll or a jersey off your name, this is not what it is, homie. This is not what it was intended to be. And we are now on a slippery slope, man. I think it's getting worse from here.
Yeah, I think you said that beautifully, man. It's just the start of, you know, something that can end up being some, you know, more dangerous, more wild. I mean, we've been talking about this type of stuff for years, 2 years now, and call it the Wild Wild West, and it just keeps becoming more and more wild. And yeah, I mean, I never would have thought 10 years ago that you would see a college athlete who's in active contract negotiations. Just think about that. Like, yeah, active contract negotiation. And again, this is not me going there. I'm not going at Nico. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's the landscape of college football now. So if you have that leverage, I guess why not use it? You know, why not get as much money as you can until they change the foundation and NCAA steps up, which they won't do. Why not maximize your opportunities? And Monica here has a quote or comment, said revenue shares should change these negotiations or renegotiations toward leaning truly on true NIL based on visibility outcomes.
Monica has a son that's in Division I, so she's kind of in tune to what's happening. Shout out to Monica. Monica, good friend. She's good people. Her son's playing currently. She's very in tune with what's going on in the NIL because she has to deal with it year to year with her kid at a major university. So, like, I don't know, man. Here's some new news to go with this I wanted to share real quick. The NCAA powers that be now are going to ask our government, homie, for some sort of regulations. This is how fucking bad of a slap in the face this continues to be. So now the Power 4 commissioners are going to ask Congress to help regulate NIL dollars when yet they have never, yes, that's Nick Evers' mother, Isaiah Place, when they can't even fucking figure out how to pay a kid yet. You're still using collectives. You're still wiping your hands clean. You're still playing judge, jury, and executioner. Like Nick Saban said it years ago. I've been saying it for the last few years, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But when is the NCAA going bye-bye? And when are these guys going to break off and do their own thing? Like, yes, Joe, yes, it's Nick Evers' mother. Fucking the same Nick Evers, homie, yes. So, yeah, so I listen. Man, Smitty, I don't know, man. This is just a joke. The NCAA is a joke, homie. I'm be real. This is an absolute joke. And now the money, the TV dollars, that's going to even explode this and make it even worse coming down the pipe, shit that I've heard about, is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. You're wondering why ESPN is dropping certain sports and keeping certain sports for their TV deals. So,
crazy, homie.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The renegotiating terms, wordage, and verbiage and how they worded that, it just sounds unbelievable crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, this kind of inspired me though. I probably should renegotiate my terms with you here soon too. You know, just while we're in the off season before NFL
We already have a
starts.
deal. We can't do that.
But I mean, that's what he had a deal too. He's renegotiating. You know, I'm kind of looking at the value. I'm looking at my value and my worth that I've brought to the show and seeing the growth.
Yeah, haven't done anything yet though.
In my role, when when I joined the show, I think we were at like 25,000 subscribers. I was thinking back, and we're at like almost 70 now. And I'm not saying it's like, of course, you're the face, of course, like that. But
we had like 40. We had 40 when you joined, and then
we were like 27.
We got 37.
No, don't keep going up. He was not 37. We almost at 70 now. So I'm just thinking I might renegotiate right before preseason starts. So shout out to Nico for this inspiring me. I wasn't even thinking about this before this moment. This never came to my mind. I was happy. I was satisfied. But now I'm looking at what Nico doing. I'm like, shit. These young dudes making their money. I'm gonna make my money too. So
you're a follower then.
Sometimes you follow things that make sense. Like JB, if you do something smart, I will follow that move. I'm not gonna follow your whole lifestyle, but I'll follow that thing. True leaders are followers first.
No integrity then. No character.
No, homie. I hope you followed some people in your life at some point.
Never.
I hope so. Great coaches, parents, uncles.
You know what happens when you follow? Get shit on your nose, homie. Called brown nosing.
That sounds racist when you say it that way.
You get shit on your nose, homie. Following ass.
What's the before we go to commercial break? What's the update with the Masters right now? We got any updates?
Man. Yeah, we can pull it up right now. Yeah,
I thought that'd be a good little transition as we go out. I'm just kind of curious, like who's leading, what's going on, who's winning. But while we're looking for that, though, I just found out we actually got some MPS, homie, Mexican people shit, brought to you by Bet US TV, homie. Let's see what it is. I haven't seen this, y'all, so don't judge me.
Hey, venga, hey. No bajen la cara. Levántenla. Levanta, son los campeones, ellos ok. Pero no están haciendo nada. La defensa está partiendo la madre. Ese equipo está mejor que el de last week. Los Warriors no traen nada. Este es un mejor equipo. ¿Puedo decir algo, Mola? Amén. Hey, guys.
Those are the Dallas Vaqueros. The Dallas Vaqueros.
Okay, the Rancheros.
The Vaqueros.
Are they the Rancheros?
That's how you say Cowboys in Spanish, homie. Vaqueros.
Either one of us had Justin Rose. He's on fire, 8 under, or 1 under already this morning. He was 7 under yesterday. He's 8 under right now. 4-stroke lead on Corey Connors. Scotty Scheffler is in the mix. Did you pick Scotty?
Where's my guy at?
Did you pick Scotty at all?
No, I got Scheffler.
Here's the good part for me. Let me just go through my guys.
Where's Man Woolley at?
He's done. So I got I told you don't take an Asian from Australia. So number one, Scotty. So I don't know if either one of us got Scotty, did we?
No, we didn't get
we didn't pick Scotty Scheffler, did we?
No.
So I got DJ, who's not in the mix right now. Wyndham Clark, who's not in the mix. I got Jason Day, though. He's in the mix. DeChambeau, Fuck, I didn't in R5. I didn't pick DeChambeau. I picked DeChambeau on my betting side on BetUS though to win it all. So I did say beat DeChambeau on this past week, but I didn't do it on R5, Smitty. What the fuck was I doing? Anyway, I got DJ, Patrick Reed, Wyndham Clark, Jason Day, and Koepka. Jason Day's 2 under, I believe. So he's in the mix. DeChambeau's 3 under. So on my betting side, I'm going to be all right. Justin Rose will fall off, in my opinion. This is just how it goes. Patrick Reed, one of my guys, 1 under. Still in the mix, top 13. Your guy, Min Woo Lee Smitty, is actually in the mix. He's 1 under. And let's see who else I got. McElroy is just horrible in the first round. I knew he would be. He's 8 strokes off. Brooks Koepka, one of my other guys, is 1 over. Still in the mix. He'll make the cut today. Did you pick Schauffele?
Yeah, Schauffele, homie.
He's 1 over, though. He's tied for 36. So he's still in the mix and make the cut. Once you make the cut in the Masters, homie, anything can happen. Dustin Johnson's 2 over, my guy that I picked. So he'll still probably make the cut. I'm curious where the cut line is going to be, Smitty. I believe it'll probably be at 2 over.
Yeah.
So I think you picked Max Homa, didn't you?
Let me see. I think I did pick Max. Let me see. I picked Max Homa, Kevin Yu, Tommy Fleetwood, Min Woo Lee, the Aussie, and Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, you're not going to have a lot. You're going to have like 3 guys miss the cut. That's 15 points against you, man. I wish you better. I wish.
So hold on, all your guys going to make the cut?
Probably looks like it.
That's because you picked like just the easy ones. Like I picked some gangsters. I picked people that's going like risky people. You picked just the easy names. Tiger Woods, like you know what I mean? It's like, come on, I mean.
I get it. I mean, some people are dumb and some people are smart.
No, I take risks, homie. You know, some
risk
people put another 1,000 on Houston to win it all. I thought I told them not to do it. So
yeah.
Let's do a commercial break right now because we have big time guests coming the rest of the show, and I want to wash my hands, wash my face, and get in my zone. So 2-minute commercial break. We're coming right back.
Bailey, when is Mike on? Bailey, when's Coach on?
He's on right now. He just hopped on.
7?
On to stay now. No, he just jumped on. I just saw him now, so we can't go.
Oh, did he? I got you. Yeah. Gotcha.
So, yep. I told you to be quiet, but you kept talking. So no break the whole show.
Man, we got a legend, man. I can't wait.
Let's do it.
Whew. Former play caller to play designer, offensive coordinator for the Rams, greatest show on turf. That won a Super Bowl and then became the head coach later on. And I think won 2 division titles in 5 years and had a 14-2 team as the head coach. One of my favorite coaches of all time. Our main man, Coach Mike Martz. Coach.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm good. Man, I haven't seen you in a while, man. I think the Glazer Clinic was the last time we chopped it up in Anaheim or Costa Mesa, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been bad, man. The Glazer fell off bad.
Yeah.
It's been bad. Welcome in California JUCO guy. A lot of people don't know. San Diego Mesa. I'm a California JUCO guy, and a lot of guys don't realize how many greats came from the JUCO level. John Madden, yourself. So many, from Warren Moon to Aaron Rodgers. So a lot of people we have on the show. Appreciate you hopping in here for a few minutes, Coach. What you doing now? What's going on nowadays?
I'm retired. I do a little bit of media stuff, not much. I was working for the 33rd team. I don't do much for them anymore, which is a website. I do a little consulting here and there, but just enough to kind of keep me involved a little bit, not much. And then we've got our grandkids. Kids had grandkids late in life, so they're all little, so they keep us busy.
No doubt. Noel Mazzoni, Coach Noel Mazzoni comes on quite often with us, and he said tell you hello, man, and can't wait to get into this, man. I want to ask you some stuff real quick on just your thoughts, man. I know you're a QB, whatever you want to call him, whisperer, guru. We want to go down the line, but in this QB world that we live in now, I've been saying it's for me, it's been watered down as hell. I'm not a big fan of the development that's lacking, I guess. Are you seeing the same thing? Are you seeing similar, we're just going instant gratification on this thing as far as not teaching the true fundamentals, and we're just trying to get this money, and we lack so much when we get to the NFL, if they do get to the NFL, where we're just like, Jesus Christ, we can't even ID the mic and re-ID the front, and these QBs seem to just call the play with a signal and go. Is that not true?
It's been that way for a while now. It's probably the worst coached position in all of professional sports.
No doubt.
And then so many of these quarterbacks in the offseason, they don't have anybody on the staff that can help them with their fundamentals, their
No
footwork, their balance. They don't have anybody to take them out there like we used to do. Of course, you can't do that nowadays because of the collective bargaining agreement, but we're on the field March, April, and May doing footwork and making throws and all that stuff they don't do anymore, And a lot of these young guys coaching them, they have no background in it. They don't know. I was raised as a teacher as you were, and from a lesson plan and what to get covered to how to resolve something, an issue that mechanically that they're having before you even get the idea and the mic and all that other stuff, and what to do with your eyes before the snap, on the snap, what are you looking at? All the little details of playing the game have been lost to some extent, or they just don't know it. And, with 35 coaches or what do they have on the staff, you'd think they'd have somebody would do that stuff.
Coach, Big Smitty, Darnell here works at Fox, and he's around a lot of guys there. He works with Keyshawn and a lot of guys that are around the game. And we've been talking about all this stuff. Like, we got coaches hiring their buddies that played tight end and stuff like that, you play tight end. And people don't realize you had to come up understanding, okay, this is what it takes to get the wideouts to football, get the running back the ball in protection, how to incorporate the protection with the back and all that. I don't think people are understanding the differences now. I think we're just hiring a coach that never called it or been around QB play or understanding anything, and we're making him the quarterback coach. And case in point, Lamar in Baltimore, they hired T. Martin 2 years ago, finally. He was coaching wideouts. They had a guy coaching Lamar that never played the position or knew about QB play. And now you got T. Martin in there, and now Lamar's gotten an MVP and possibly could have had two. So, like, your point meaning, like, we got guys, it's any slapdick just coaching our QBs.
Well, the intimate details of how to play that position, they just don't know. It took me when I first came in the league, I coached every position in the National Football League before I became a coordinator. Offensive line, tight ends, quarterbacks, all of them. And you have to learn football at this level. The first 5 years, I wasn't my job, but I volunteered to do it. I took off all the stuff for the computer breakdowns for the opponent so I could learn. And so I spent 5 years before I felt like I kind of understood a little bit about what was going on out there. Right. These guys, they skip all those steps, they're growing through it and learning it, like I said, on an intimate level, the footwork, what do you do with your eyes? The first thing we do with quarterbacks, and JB, this, is before we even take the field, we'll spend weeks in the classroom teaching them defense. How are you teaching offense unless they know what you're talking about and how it applies to these guys? There's 32 teams in the league, and there's 32 different ways to run cover three. Right. And so you got to, as a quarterback, know that about this team. They're spot droppers, or they work past the numbers, or all those little things that happen. They're full back pedal, the shuffle, turn, all those things that you need to know before you play them, and a lot of that information is just not there.
Coach, go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, I got a quick follow-up, Coach. At what point do you think you start to see this shift as far as coaches is not coaching at the same level? Is there a year that comes to mind, a certain moment where you just start to slowly see that shift?
Yeah, I think it was probably right about when the collective bargaining agreement changed, because now that off-season on-field stuff you didn't have anymore, and so you're hiring guys that didn't know it anyway, so it wouldn't make any difference, right? So, and then this fad about getting younger always, the owners they're looking for the Shaun McVay guy, they're always looking for that guy, and they just throw them away if they aren't, So that kind of throwaway coach mentality, hiring all these young guys and maybe you'll hit on somebody, has killed it, because these guys, they just don't know. Now, Shaun knew. I mean, he's a young guy, came in, he got it, he understood it, but he's a rarity. And so the movement, this youth movement with no background, has killed it.
No question. I agree too. Smitty and I argue about it all the time. We talk about you mentioned all these defensive, what we call you, what we classify you as. Like we used to go in and teach the QB, like you said, for weeks and weeks and weeks Who is the edge of the defense? What does that even mean? Who's the anchor of the defense? Who has BCCCR, boot count, quarterback reverse? Who's responsible for that? The QBs now don't have a clue what the fuck we're even talking about. I said, hey, who's the flat player on this in this coverage? They don't know if it's the corner coach. They don't know if it's a fucking invert. They don't know if it's a Sam backer. They have no clue based on, just who's high on the roof and who's not. I don't know, man. It's funny. Like, we teach little terms. You and I always had buzzwords to teach our defensive terminology to our QBs. I've been in coaching offices where that's not even being discussed whatsoever.
I got to tell you, I did. Over the years, I've done a lot of consulting in college and in the NFL, and I've been in all these quarterback meetings. And I'll be honest with you, other than one place, I walked out there. I didn't know where the quarterback was supposed to throw the ball. I don't know what he's supposed to do. And what do you teach? They're like video game coaches. They just teach them plays, and you could throw it over here, you could throw it over there. What does that mean? How are you helping a guy there? The one thing with a quarterback, and this, JB, is when they take the field, it's our responsibility to make sure that they have an answer for everything they could possibly see on every play. Who's the side adjust guy? How about the protection? Who's coming free? What do you do with the ball? All right, you're going to go 1-2 here. Where's your check down? And just the structure of that play, what you're trying to do, all those things, they just don't know it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Smitty, I don't know,
It sounds like you two are agreeing on a lot. So I'm going to just ask you straight up, Coach. So JV always says that this is the worst QB play he's ever seen. Do you agree with that?
I think from a technical standpoint, they get away with it because they're so bad on defense.
Oh.
So there's, because they're running plays as fast. What's his name from Oregon brought that in? Everybody's running plays as fast as they can out of the no huddle stuff. Guys they just get lined up and they just run a coverage or a front. There's no.
There is none.
The details of defense. I'm more appalled at defense than I am anything else. There's so much bad defense out there that guys just don't know. The corner play is horrendous. Horrendous. They let them tackle him now downfield and grab him. Well, and then I hear these dumb announcers, guys that should know better. Oh, well, it's equal. They have hand fighting. No, that's not hand fighting. I had a guy, Dre Bly, who's probably as good a cover guy as I've been around, and he used to do it in practice, and I used to get so upset with him. I said, Dre, why would you practice that way? I said, you got to cover him with your feet. You got great feet. Cover him with your feet. These shortcuts that they just don't go. You get called on this stuff. Well, then they allow it to happen. So it's just that whole part of the game is just kind of, when I was on the competition committee, we didn't let them get away with that. That part of the game was clean. There's a little bumping and all that, but you could not, that collisions in the hand and the grabbing. I had Mike Pereira tell me one time, Isaac Bruce ran a dig and the guy grabbed his jersey coming out of it. And I said, why wasn't that called, Mike? And he says, well, I don't think he inhibited him enough. Well, so that's not the judgment. That's not the call.
Right.
He grabbed his jersey. How do you know that didn't make a difference of this much and he couldn't get to the ball? It's not a judgment call. Either he did or he didn't, so that's what we were fighting on the committee for so many years, that
no doubt.
Interpretation stuff that Mike had brought in here, where we finally got that away, and now it's kind of gone back to that.
Yeah, the rules have changed so much. They've made it so soft. You got to lay the quarterback down, and you can't take a chin shot no more. Like it's just so crazy. And then the wideouts don't have no fear from a safety hitting them and putting his dick in the dirt. Like they're going to get a penalty anyway. So it's just become so almost flag football. Let me ask you, Coach. You had Mark Bulger, who looked like Kurt Warner out there, and everyone at this. Like if you thought about that now. And I don't know, a lot of these youngsters watching the show right now, they don't realize, like, you took Mark Bulger, made him really, really good. He was already a talent. He had a quick release, similar to what you wanted in your system, similar to Trent, similar to Kurt. Could Mark Bulger dominate right now?
Oh, absolutely. You watch some of the throws. I just looked at this morning. I was going through some cups. I'm going to do a little consulting with a guy coming here in the next few days, but the throws that he made, the ball comes out so fast they can't break on it. And his pinpoint accuracy on firm throws was ridiculous. Now, Kurt had a great touch on the deep ball. It's like Kurt didn't have Mark's arm strength, but Kurt had great anticipations and he's incredibly courageous. But Mark, my gosh, His first pass in a game against the Raiders, I can tell you what it was. He came back up a hard play action. We max protect. We moved Isaac in. He ran a 20-yard out, and he was double covered. And he had about a window like this to hit it, and he hit it. And he hit it against the Raiders. And, he's fearless as a thrower, which would you like to have. You don't want to – you can back a guy off, but you can't make him courageous, And,
no doubt.
And absolutely. Yeah, he would – they couldn't – first of all, the defense is playing today, I think he might get bored completing the ball.
I'm telling you, man, I don't think these youngsters understand the difference in the game, man. I got a couple of questions now. I want to hold you, and I know Smitty got some questions for you real quick. Kurt Warner, you take that team over, or you're the OC, and Kurt comes in, and the movie just depicts it away, I know. But let me ask you, if Trent Green doesn't get hurt, does Kurt ever become Kurt?
I think he probably would eventually, because that's just kind of who he is. I think the opportunity that came up for him was terrific, and he responded so well to it. But I think, and Kurt will tell you this too, Trent Green, we still win a Super Bowl with Trent because we're just a great football team, and Trent's a really good player. So, and again, Kurt will tell you that. But I think Kurt, an opportunity would eventually arise for Kurt as well, and then he would take full advantage of it. Now, we were just, it was a special place in time. We had all these great things come together at the same moment, with Marshall, and we draft Torrey, and Isaac had something to prove, and Orlando's there, and the defense. There's just so many great things going on there that you can't duplicate that, but he'd still have a terrific, he proved it down at Arizona. So
then you get a speedster like Azakim, an LA kid here that I got to be around. And you get him and add him to the punch with the tight end and the tight ends you used and all the move stuff. Like, I used to be a super studious studier of everything you did. And I was running similar stuff. And it's just, I think you were ahead of the game. And I don't think people realize how good Trent Green was. And I think he's still calling games in Kansas City. I know. Yeah. Good deal.
You talk about Azakim. Even I didn't realize, looking back at some of the plays, he probably made more big plays for us than anybody on the team, actually. As for the amount of time that he played, even. I'll never forget, my first year as head coach here in 2000, we're playing Atlanta. Our kicker, goes down. Jeff goes down with the, on the opening kickoff, and they return it for a touchdown. We get the next kickoff, and we return it for a touchdown. Never been done before.
Damn.
We don't have a field goal kicker or extra point guy. So it's right before half, and it's 4th and 29. Well, what do you throw? We ran verticals. So he comes back, and Kurt fits it right in the window. Oz makes 3 or 4 guys miss and walks in the end zone with it. I mean, who does that?
I remember. Man, I got so many damn questions, but
nah, that's all good. Let me ask you about the greatest show on turf. What's your favorite memory just from being a part of that team? Not being a part of it, being a huge part and reason that the team had that success. Is there like any big memory that just stands out?
There's one. My favorite memory is going in and with the offense and putting the game plan in with everybody on Wednesday mornings. They were always they couldn't wait. They're just like holding a bunch of horses back. They just couldn't wait. In the practices during the week, Isaac told me the other day, he said, Coach, practices were harder than the games. The games were actually easier. And that was by design. The running part of it, we tried to play a game every day. We practiced, and just going through that process was so much fun with those personalities and their enthusiasm for playing the game and how hungry they were to win and get the ball and be a part of it, So I'm going in there, you could tell if somebody thought that they weren't getting the ball enough that week, that you could see in the meeting their head, drop down like that. So I had to do the little father's son afterwards, and say, no, you'll be fine. We'll get the ball,
No doubt. How good was, I think Torrey Holt's one of the most underrated wideouts in the history as far as catching the ball with his hands, not letting the ball cross his face, like just hand-eye. I don't know how many are better. And I know Isaac with the route runner, local JUCO guy as well. I know Memphis, but he played here at Santa Monica. Where are you at with Torrey's, like, is he going to have a gold jacket? Is he going to be a guy that deserves it? I think he's super underrated.
That's to me the biggest injustice in all professional sports, that he doesn't have a jacket right now. His numbers are just ridiculous. He's second only to Jerry Rice in the fact that In fact, he was the quickest guy at 10,000 yards receiving. Nobody ever has gone 6 seasons in a row with 1,300 yards or more. Nobody's ever done it. Jerry Rice didn't do it. I mean, he's got so many numbers that say, well, he's obviously should be in the Hall of Fame. But the top 3 guys that do this now, they're dead set. And then one of them said this in a meeting, and it got out that there's enough Ram players from that team. We don't need any more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It makes no
crazy.
sense. I mean,
If you're great, you're great. It doesn't matter what the situation is.
Right. So he'll get in, I think, eventually, but it's just painful to sit there. I feel so bad for him because he's so deserving.
So you got who? You got Marshall, Orlando, Isaac, Kurt.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Those four.
Needs to be
And
on there.
Aeneas Williams, of course, was a corner.
Aeneas Williams. That's right. Aeneas. Gosh, dang, that was unbelievable. Talent. I don't know. Smitty.
That's wild.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you something. Arizona State, is that where you cut your teeth as far as getting your getting going as far as installation goes? Like you said, installing the plays. A lot of these fans don't understand. That was our favorite part of the thing. Either was a walkthrough, teaching the teachable moments. Arizona State, you get your OC job. You're getting it going there. Was that you missed the college game before going back to the league?
Not really. The league was just all football. No recruiting.
Yeah, you'd have to
I
deal
didn't
with
mind the recruiting, but it's just
Yeah.
intensity and the complexity of the NFL is so different. I just really enjoyed it. Arizona State, before all that, though, JB, and when I first started in Mesa College in 1976, Lenny Smorn was the head coach. He just gotten a job, and he called me. I was at San Jose State at the time. He said, "Come on down, put the offense in. I just have 2 things I want you to do." I said, "Oh, all right. What are they?" He said, "I want you to run 4 wide receivers, and I want you to throw the heck out of the ball." Well, this is 76. Now, everybody's in I formation back then. If you go to a slot or split back, you're really, that's pretty liberal.
You live life on edge.
Receivers, nobody was doing nickel. I mean, nobody, come on. 4 receivers? That was ridiculous. So we went with 4 receivers, and we just kind of made it up as we went. And again, we had Steve Fairchild and Melvin was our All-American tailback, All-American wide receivers and quarterback, and they just burned it up, And so that gave me – nobody knew what we were doing. Nobody had ever done it before. So when I went to the Rams and had that opportunity again, I reflected back on it. I just said, even though it's contrary to what's being done in the league, because this is what you do in the league offensively in those days. Everybody kind of ran the same stuff more or less.
Yeah.
So we weren't going to do that. We took third down stuff and threw it on first down, those kinds of things, and just let it ride. And I don't think I would have done that or been in that situation had I not gone through what I went through at Mesa College way back when.
Wow, that's crazy. Like 10 personnel was never thought of. I know everyone was like, oh, and then as it gets, I guess as you've grown, all the shifts, motions, all that stuff. Was the 4 verts predicated from Mesa? Did you build the 4 verts and all option off of that stuff?
What we did at Mesa, the 4 wide receivers, the wing back, we'll play with 2 wing backs all the time. It's like Deuce said almost. We'd arc release them and run the outside veer. We led the nation in rushing on 4 wide receivers, if you can believe it. It was stupid. And people, they didn't know, because we would release them and throw a pop pass to them. So you either got to cover them or you got to stop the run. They didn't really, and then you throw a hitch. We'd take a guy, get a hitch and run 50 yards with it. It just, guys didn't know how to line up against it. They didn't know what to take away. And so, we were just, like I said, we just looked at it and made it up. And the quarterback was so good with it.
It's
Smitty,
so crazy.
I try to tell people. No, I'm telling you, Smitty. I'm trying to tell people understand. People think the RPO and all this shit was just invented. Like that's really literally RPO is what he's talking about. It's double and triple option based off of a couple reads in 76.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. In our Super Bowl against the Patriots, we had 9 RPOs called. I think 4 of them got thrown. But people didn't know what that was. We call them run side adjustments is what we called them. Like you have the pass sites, versus blitz.
Yep.
So we
like
didn't
a run solution, right? Like a run solution.
Yeah, because we didn't check plays. We weren't checking in on plays. I'd never want to sit at the line of scrimmage. I coached the offensive line when I first went to the Rams. The thing that used to just irritate the heck out of me was have the offensive linemen sit there, listen for what the play is, and then they got to redo all that and just come on
block. Yeah.
And then the movement and shifting came from Norv Turner. When I was at Washington, we were 0-7 going into a bye week. He said, we got to do something different, guys. We came back out, and we with this Joe Gibbs, we started moving guys around a little bit. The first time we did, we threw the ball to the fullback in the flat, and he went 60 yards for a touchdown. And we kind of looked at each other. Maybe we ought to do more of this, So we ended up winning, I think, 6 of the last 9, and really could have been won 8 of them. But anyway, we played really well, and that's when Trent Green started.
Wow.
So he knew all the motion and shifting, and the fact that you could line up and go quickly with it, and this guy's on the other side of the ball are pointing and talking and shifting, and their defensive linemen around, and the zone dog stuff was big in those days.
Yeah,
the heyday of it. So when you start changing strength of formation twice, who's the popper, and who isn't? So they get that screwed up all the time. If you look at our Tennessee Super Bowl, we throw a ball to Marshall out of the backfield on a wheel route, and it was after a shift, and they just dropped him. He ran 50 yards with it, and that's why we do it. That was a purpose behind it. Norv just didn't feel they could get lined up, and that's what we did. And it got its root right there, and we just took it another step when I went to St. Louis.
That's amazing, man. I never coached. I played college ball, and for me, I always thought it was fascinating of just how our coaches, or how coaches in general, was able to come up with the scheme, and how do we know that these 10 plays are the first 10 plays we should go out on the field with? And just hearing you kind of break down just the process of what went through your head, and sounds like a lot of it was like trial and error and just kind of trying things out.
Well,
and seeing.
You're right. Some of it was trial and error, but we did that in practice. But the big deal is, remember, I said that my first 5 years in the league, I just broke down tape. So I understood defense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I understood the quarter, half. I was talking with a guy on a program here last year, and he was talking about this quarter, half as being a genius defense of recent development. The first game that I ever coached at Mesa College in 1974 was against a quarter, half. I mean, this is nothing new. So you understand if number 2 goes to the flat against a quarter safety, well, the safety's going to turn and look up number 1. So you can start to learn that and manipulate defenses, and get the matchups. It's all about matchups. The NFL is all about matchups in the passing game. And
no doubt. Coach, I got to ask you, I can't thank you enough. I don't want to hold you too long. Let me ask you, you mentioned earlier, and I've been watching these college games, these coaches getting big dollars now to coach college, and then the NIL and all this shit that's happening. But the coaches, though, are like, to me, just taking it for granted, and I guess, and so to speak, because like you said, there's no more like, let's run this to the 3, let's run this to the shade. There is no more high technique, low technique run game as you and I would try to dictate, either by formation or what have you. You said you shifted twice. They lost you, but they probably didn't move the 3 technique either to the strength of the back, whatever. Today we're running fucking plays. I've never seen nothing like it. We're just rapid fire, 13 seconds, trying to get a snap off. There's no rhyme or reason, as to your point earlier. Like, we're running shit just to run it, and I don't know how. I've never seen the kids being felled at a bigger level. Like, we're failing them.
The reason, though, is the owners don't care, because it doesn't change the image of the league of being fun and people watching it. So the quality of it, because if they're concerned about the quality, they would never given up the collective bargaining agreement where you have players in the offseason, No look how much you're paying them, and they're half a year there. So and it's their craft. You give them a chance to stay in the league longer, learn it better, all that stuff. So the game is exciting to them, but you and I as coaches know what's going on, but they don't really care, because it's fun to watch for them, and they're making money on it. So they're not going to fool. They're not going to change it. They just hire another coach who doesn't know anything.
The young guys, the McDaniels and these guys walking with the skinny jeans, walking around that smoking vapes and all this. It's a joke, man. It's coach it or allow it, is what we used to say, Smitty. Coach it or allow it.
But there are some young coaches as well, though, that are doing it the right way, like you said. So it's not just it's a balance. It's not. It's
like Chicago's got one that I think is
Ben Johnson
up the heap. Yeah, when I watched him coach and I watched their offense, that's what I hope that we look like. You know what I mean? The best compliment I give him is I really admired how well coached the offensive line was. The running backs, what they're looking at, they were hitting it. There was no tap dancing, jumping around. They were hitting and splitting it. And that whole team was so well coached. As credit to Danny, but offensively, and to say that he's a coordinator, well, he doesn't affect the offensive line. Baloney.
Shit.
He oversees all that, so it's his job to make sure that all those things are done on a detailed basis. That to me was a role model for the rest of the league on how offense should be coached or taught.
Have you got to sit down with him?
No, I met him down in Miami and was down there helping with the quarterbacks. I went down there to do a little consulting down there, and the thing that impressed me about him, JB, was he wouldn't leave me. He kept asking me these questions about these couple of these plays that we had to Rams. Well, wait a minute, so what do you tell the quarterback here? That kind of thing. And he's the only guy that had so much passion or intensity that usually guys fit. Yeah, I got it. No, that's right. I got it. I know what you were doing. I figured it out.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like that. He wanted to know how many steps and how come it's 5. All that kind of stuff. So
let me ask you this again, Coach. Like, obviously, we'll see here in a few months. But do you think he has the ability to kind of turn Caleb Williams around in year 2 and kind of get that offense rolling in Chicago?
Well, I think Chicago finally got it right at quarterback. Throughout the franchise, I think they finally picked a guy that's worthy and can be a great franchise quarterback. Now, McMahon was a good player, but he wasn't a great player. And I think Williams has got a chance of being that way, and they got the right guy. Remember, the head coach is a taskmaster. He's going to make sure that the details of the game are executed, particularly at that position. And there's no freelancing. They're going to protect him. Look at the moves they did already. What did they sign? Three offensive linemen in the offseason? When you build a team, you start in the offensive line. People think it's, you get a quarterback, you get this. No. A good offensive line allows you to run or throw it, whatever you want to do, and keeps the defense off the field. That's where everything is based. And he gets that. He understands that, and they're building it right.
I'm with you. I think Caleb has a chance to be good, especially with Ben Johnson. But go ahead, JB.
I don't.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, Mike. Let me ask you, Coach, real quick. I mess with Smitty all the time with Caleb Williams. You would rip his ass if he paid him.
Maybe he doesn't like him. He doesn't believe him at all. He doesn't believe him at all.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb. He doesn't like Caleb.
I agree with Coach. Uber talented, no skill set wise off the charts, but can he do it? That's all.
Well, here's the thing with Caleb. He can see and react quickly. He can digest things quickly and respond to it. You don't know what he's been told. He's been allowed to ad lib too much, and I tell you, that head coach isn't going to put up with that at all. He's going to yank a knot in his rear end in 2 seconds if that happens. So the discipline of playing that position is what he's going to learn. And he's so talented that with that discipline, I think he could become just exceptional.
Let me ask you, the only reason I asked you if you talked to Ben Johnson is because of the fact that you go from play caller, coordinator to head coach, and you still have a hell of a run in the Rams as the head coach. And I was wondering if that's why Ben was so involved in asking you those things, because obviously we knew he was going to be a head coach eventually. Do you see him kind of following your footsteps as going from that transition? And what would you tell him at the transition to expect?
I would tell him find a coordinator to call plays, because after a while it wore me out. I got sick. I couldn't do it, because I was doing personnel as well. So that personnel was the offense. I was quarterback coach, did basically the quarterback stuff. The offense, I ran the offense, and I was the head coach. So I was being pulled in so many different directions. I was exhausted. And I think for the first year or two, that's fine, like Danny did up in Detroit. But try to find yourself somebody that you trust and admire and knows the game as well as you do. And the biggest mistake, I had a very short window to hire Norv Turner, and I didn't do it. And it's the biggest mistake in my coaching career. I don't know whether he'd taken the job, but I should have asked him anyway,
No doubt. I was telling Smitty the same thing. I said, man, I was at the point to let the O go as the head coach, and I regret it to this day. But it's hard. It was hard to find a guy at JUCO, as you know, trying to get a guy to Mesa that's competent enough that can do it, and then the kids still respond to and knows enough up front. It's not easy to find. But real quick before we get you out of here, Coach, I can't thank you enough. Talk about you going to Detroit after the Rams deal. You go to Detroit as the play caller. And you get them going, and who'd you have there? Kitna?
Yeah, brought John Kitten in. There was nobody there. Joey Harrington was there. I had a bad experience with Joey. Joey and I are probably not going to ever shake hands, but we had a meeting, and after 2 weeks, I had all the quarterbacks in there, and I walked around, picked up their notebooks to look what they'd written down, and after 2 weeks, I looked at his notebook. He didn't have one thing written down.
Shit.
And so we went on the field to do some field work, and I was putting him through a drill down there. He didn't want to be there. And he kind of half-assed it and kind of lobbed the ball over there. And I just lit in. I had enough of him. I just lit into him as a competitor, as a professional. You're a fraud, And he never came back. He called Matt, our GM called Matt, and he said, my girlfriend's dog died. I got to go home, and we never saw him again. So that was it. So that's what we did. That's what I walked into at Detroit. That was the atmosphere.
Wow.
We had 3 number 1 receivers, and none of them, Roy was the only one that ended up being decent, and he was a good player for us. But
Roy Williams, yeah.
When I took the job, I took it because Rod Marinelli, I just wanted help. I didn't want to be a head coach. I just wanted to coach the offense at that point for a while. And what Matt told me is that, the offensive line situation get resolved. They had one guy under contract in the offensive line when I went there. It was a nightmare. So we were just picking guys up on the side. You talk about injury IRing guys. We must have set a record that year for IRs. I've never seen anything like it. We had a left guard from I think it was Puerto Rico that barely spoke English.
Really?
Oh, I'm telling you. Now he's a nice kid, big kid, and was a decent player, but he couldn't communicate. I mean, that's what was happening with us. We just didn't have anybody.
Jesus Christ.
Mike Furry was our free safety when I left the Rams. I made him a free safety. He came to us as a wide receiver and led the NFC in receptions and yards.
Damn. Was that right? I forgot about that shit.
Look up Mike Furry. Look at his – I think he had 100 catches for over 1,000 yards. He led the NFC that year in receiving.
Coach, guys weren't ready for your stuff, man. I just missed the old school coaching, man. I missed the actual X's and O's part of it where the players actually wanted to learn it and do it. Nowadays – their dog dies and they fucking go home. It's unbelievable, man.
That's not everybody though. And Coach did say there are still some Ben Johnsons left in the game. Let's keep our head up. It's not all going bad, JB.
We hope, Smitty. We hope.
But what bothers me is some of these older guys have been journeymen in the league for so long. Once you get to a certain age, they just don't look at them as head coaches. And there's plenty of those guys that should have that opportunity.
No doubt.
Instead, just going for because they're so cheap to hire young guys. You don't really pay them, and then if they hit it, you pay them. But they're throwaways.
Yeah, no doubt. It's interesting. I can't wait to see this league, this deal coming up. Before you leave, how high are you on this draft? QB draft, Shador, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart. These kids, are you high on them at all? I'm not, but are you thinking?
I think Cam Ward's got a chance of being pretty good. I don't know that he's the first pick in the draft for me, but I think it's a very mediocre at best class. I think Deion's kid. You can't put the numbers up and do what he did and not have some serious talent. It's just impossible. And he's such a great competitor, but it's a little bit like we're talking about in Chicago. He's going to have to adapt to an offense in the NFL that's very, very, very structured and conservative, and teach him how to play this game. And they just didn't protect him, so he's got all these bad habits that you got to uncoach.
Yeah.
If he goes to a bad team, it's going to be the same thing. He'll be successful, but he'll get beat up. Hopefully, he'll go to a good enough team where they can build it around him. He's got a chance of being pretty good, I think.
No doubt. Coach, before you leave, we got a question for you. Did you ever believe Al Saunders could have been a head coach in the league? We know how great he was. I got a shot there under Dick as in OTAs as a practice squad guy when he went there early 2000s, and Al was unbelievable. Did you think he was a head coach guy?
Absolutely. Al was a head coach at the Chargers for about a year and a half, I think, down there. He
after Marty, wasn't it?
No, it was
who was that before then?
Who did he replace?
Let me see.
He was there for about a year and a half, I think, and things just changed. There are a lot of politics in those days, and there are a lot of good coaches that
Was
just
it Corey? He replaced Coryell, huh?
It was Coryell. Yes, it was. It was Coryell. You replaced Don Coryell, yes.
86.
So he was on Coryell's staff. That's right. That's why he knows the system so well. That's why when we got together at the Rams, he and I were really good because he understood everything we were doing.
No doubt. Nah, he was unbelievable. Man, Coach, we could do this all day. I can't thank you enough. We got to hook up soon, man. And you out here on the West Coast?
No, I was out there for about 6 weeks trying to get out of the cool weather, but we're back in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Got you. Man, we'll hook up soon. I can't thank you enough, Coach. Good luck to everything. Hope everything is okay, and I'll hopefully see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, JB.
Pleasure
Thanks.
meeting you, Coach. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, take care.
Come on, y'all.
Coach Mike Martz, man. Thanks, legendary guy, man. Unbelievable to sit and talk with him, man. Especially you have a drink with him at a clinic.
Don't brag about it. See, you teasing the chat, man. We all can't beat Jason Brown. We all can't sit down with Coach Martz.
No, what I'm saying is that conversation right there would have been
like more rated R, not rated R, but like more.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah,
like he didn't tell Joey Harrington you're a fraud.
right.
Like nicely.
Yeah, that wasn't what he said.
Like,
I got you.
Kurt Warner found out real quick.
Yeah.
He didn't fuck around, homie. I've actually talked to Marshall Falk about him as well, just on the side, and he's like, homie, that motherfucker was crazy. Like when he was younger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that's what NFL coaching was at the time, though. Like both player and coach.
Well, let me ask you this though, and be honest with your answer. Were you shocked or a little surprised that he said Ben Johnson is a guy that if Caleb Williams isn't out there being disciplined, he's gonna get after him? Like, are you surprised based upon just, again, you and I, we don't know Coach Ben Johnson. Only thing we can do is look at pictures and his speeches, his videos, stuff like that. He doesn't really look like a guy that would get after you and be hard-nosed and all that. I think me and you had a whole discussion going team by team on which team has the hard-nosed coaches and this, that, and the third. This was a guy that we would have left off that side because we're reading a book by its cover. Are you a little surprised or shocked that he said that? Be honest.
Here's the thing, and this is God's honest truth. I'm a little shocked that he said it, but I'm not shocked that he's that way based on what Mike was saying about how good the O-line is and shit.
Yeah.
Ben's not going to sit there and allow the O-line. Like, I get that you have an old, dirty, nasty ex-tight end as your head coach in Detroit.
Yep.
And I understand why the O-line would be nasty, and I do still believe that's due to MCDC.
Yeah.
But Ben has to understand it and know it, so it's not a shock that it was clean up front. It was put together. It was precise. It was organized, structured offense, like the best one, right? We thought, right? And he's had opportunities to be head coach. And here's the other reason why it's not a shocker.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of, okay, he got a little nastiness to him, and coming from Martz, that's cool. But then on the other side, it's like he stayed an extra year.
Right.
Where he could have left last year. And that's when I came on the show even. I said, hey, I got
praised him.
Respect. Yeah. I said, this guy wants to learn how to be a head coach. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, him sticking around another year is only helping him in the maturation process of becoming a head coach. And that's what I don't think people realize. So now you're going to get to Chicago with a dysfunctional QB system organization.
Yeah.
And now manage all that and put it in now that understand, like he just said. And I'm glad he said it because we think a lot, not that we talk and Noel Mazzoni, obviously a disciple of Mike and all kind of think alike. But like you sit there and look at it and say, damn, we all look at the same thing. Like, hey man, this is a position now that you have to coddle more than we ever had to before. And now you got to figure it out. And he said Ben Johnson's the guy that's figuring it out, and he's going to go in there and not take it. He's not going to take no shit. So that's good to hear. Like I'm glad. I'm glad.
The only reason why I wanted to ask that was that because I guess my point is that we really don't know for sure who's the hard unless you know the coaches personally or got players who you talk to, and we all have connections and access to guys in the locker room. But my point is, even some of the guys who we may look at from afar and think they're not coaching guys hard, some of these guys may be coaching guys harder than what we think. And we're just assuming based upon their post-game speeches or how they talk that they're a certain way. So, I don't think football is completely lost. I think there's certain things that we definitely agree that needs to be changed and altered to kind of keep the substance of what football truly is and was, but it's not completely lost. And there's still a lot of guys who are still football guys. And we know, and you know what I mean when I say that. So
yeah, I think you're more optimistic than me.
Yeah, for sure.
And the reason and what he said that stuck out though, and we can't dismiss, is the fact that what he said is we are just hiring guys to hire guys because they're cheap. You can't dismiss that because that's why we are hiring these younger guys. That's just the fact of the matter. We're hiring these younger guys for the simple fact that we don't fucking want them to we don't want to hold dudes accountable because of the collective bargaining agreement that was dismissed and scrapped. We don't want to hold guys accountable no more for actually putting in the work to become great, Smitty.
Right.
That's what he said without saying it. Like, I don't know, but I can't wait to ask a player perspective as, man, this show just has back-to-back legends. And we got another one, man. Man, shit. This was one of the nastiest, hard-hitting, true NFL gritty guys when the NFL was fucking truly great. Our main man, NFL legend, Bill Romanowski, joins the show.
Yeah.
Bill, what up, brother?
Pleasure to meet you.
You're
on mute. You're on mute, Bill.
Hit mute.
Oh, there
you go.
Here we go.
I got it. Sorry about that. Hey, sorry I'm late this morning.
It's all good. No
Perfect.
problem at all.
It's perfect, man. Hey, Mike Martz said he would have fined your ass. hey, let me ask you straight up, man. We're talking all this fucking soft and hard. How fucking soft has the NFL and college football become, man?
Well, I will say this. For receivers, the game has changed. For quarterbacks, the game has changed. But for running backs, running in the line of scrimmage, the game hasn't changed. They're still getting rocked.
Yeah.
The game is still physical in the trenches. It's just receivers and quarterbacks. Hey, they might as well be playing flag football.
Yeah. You soft quarterback. I've been telling JB for a while. Quarterbacks are soft.
Yeah.
Going,
they're protecting them so they can keep them healthy because they don't want the quarterbacks getting hurt and they don't want the receivers getting hurt.
Is it all
money? You're right. It's all money.
Fuck,
man, it's a crazy time though, man. But I'm glad you mentioned that the trenches are still the trenches. I was a former D lineman, not nowhere near. I played in college ball, but the trenches are still the trenches, right? So I always try to tell maybe that.
That's one thing. These running backs are getting lit up. Yeah. So, and I will say this: even hitting with your shoulder. A receiver over the middle. Hey, some of these guys, these safeties and defensive backs, they're getting pretty damn good at laying hits on people with their shoulder. I used to hit with my head. Yeah. I was taught to hit with my head, and my head was a weapon. And that's what I focused on.
Let me ask you this. We're talking about the game today. As you look at it, just with everything, the physicality, the new rules, the just different schemes. Just when you look at the NFL today and compare it to the game that you played at a high level, where do you think the football is in a great place right now? Has it taken a step back? Like, what's your overall view of the game today?
I think it's still entertaining at the end of the day. I think these guys are still, it's a game of athletes now. Mm-hmm. Where when I played, it was a game of gladiators. I would say that's the difference. These guys are faster, stronger, more athletic. I mean, crazy. But you know, you had those, you used to have a Mike linebacker, that would go in on first and second down to stop the run.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a Mike linebacker who can't cover the pass now.
Yeah.
They're all 215 too, right? 215,
Yeah.
220.
It's like safeties now, right?
Oh, yeah. They're I remember, Jeff Fuller, who when I got drafted by the 49ers, Jeff Fuller was 235, as a strong safety.
Yeah,
I mean, he'd come up and rock people. And so that's where it's changed to where it's all about coverage. They're opening you up, and you got to be able to. You also got to be able to, fill and hit versus the run. But the guys that are playing now, they've got to be able to cover the pass. And see, that's why I know I could play today. Because, I was more of, a pass. Hey, I could defend the run fine. But, I always played on third down. So, and that's because I could cover the running backs and tight ends, and lock them down.
How heavy were you, Bill? How heavy were you then? 240, 235?
I was 240.
Solid.
And you're a hash-to-hash guy. Like you were already doing the thing. I just watching you, I was like, well, this guy, he can cover the tight end over here, be the skift, and he can jump over here and carry the back out the backfield. So, like, that's what's happening now with Patrick Queen in Baltimore or now in Pittsburgh and these other guys. They're carrying two vertical, and then they're fucking taking the back in the flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What linebackers today do you like? Are there guys that you're an actual fan of today that maybe reminds you of your game, or just
I love San Francisco's linebackers.
Oh yeah,
I love their linebackers. They will rock you. They will hit. They will
Warner.
Play the run. Oh yeah. No, I love them. There's a handful that I like, but but back in my day, you kind of always had, like the Harry Carsons and guys like that with the Giants, kind of the Lawrence Taylors, legendary guys. And now it's kind of like you said earlier, they're glorified safeties now.
Yeah.
And they are, and it seems like another thing that they still have trouble staying healthy.
Crazy.
We talk about that shit all the time, Bill. I don't know. Soft tissue, all this shit. We don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. What's your take on these helmet condoms, these fucking hats they're wearing at practice?
I think it is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Same with me.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, because it won't work. It will actually make it worse. And probably make them more susceptible to get a neck injury.
Concussions were up, Bill. The people that use those, they're up.
Of course they are.
Fucking
of course they are.
Your fucking spine's hitting the...
You guys, they're faster and stronger, okay? When you have speed meeting speed, and you can't take even when you hit somebody with a shoulder, what's attached to your shoulder? Your friggin' head.
Right.
It's unbelievable. And Bill, what's crazy is these fucking biomechanic geniuses called referees who don't put any play and work into it. They're quick to targeting call and kick you out of a game, and they don't realize 20 miles an hour with 20 pounds of gear on, fucking hitting somebody, you can't get down that fast.
You know what? That is the issue when it comes to when someone is clearly trying to hit somebody with their head. But when you have somebody, whether it be a receiver, a running back, or tight end, as fast as these guys are now, and you're trying to put a hit on them, they make one little move on you, and guess what? You're hitting them with your head instead of your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Let's splash back a little bit here, and let's talk about your legendary career. I mean, you played on two Super Bowl championship teams, organizations. Let's start off with your time with the Niners, man. As you look back, during those years, what was the most special thing that just comes to mind when you think back?
When I got drafted by the 49ers, the first things I heard, Bill Walsh was my first coach.
Mm-hmm. Legend.
The first things I heard out of his mouth was this: men, our goal is to win a world championship, and nothing less is acceptable to this organization. And, realizing, back then, I learned how to win. I learned how to prepare. I learned how to practice. I learned how to take care of my body. And they truly cared about you as a person. And Eddie DeBartolo, our owner, he went above and beyond, where everybody, all the players had their own hotel room. You didn't have to double up with a guy. Little things like that, the way they flew, when we flew, we had a gigantic plane. They fed us really well. There were little things that they did that made a difference, and it made it easy for the coaches just to focus on winning.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. And
change.
then I left. I got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was like a culture shock.
Night and day, huh?
Night and day. To them, I don't know if winning really even mattered or was a focus. And I tried to bring that. Ray Rhodes, my second year, I had Rich Kotite my first year. Then we had Ray Rhodes, and he brought more of that winning mentality. We went to the playoffs that year. And then in Denver, Mike Shanahan was with the 49ers.
Yep.
He knew what it was like. And, when he signed, he actually negotiated, John Elway negotiated his deal.
Yeah. He negotiated.
And it came down to this. He said, well, not only am I going to get paid well, but you have to allow, Pat Bowlen has to allow me to max the cap. And, he was able to assemble, a group of guys, and we were able to win 2 more Super Bowls. And then I finished with the Raiders. And as crazy as Al Davis was and the Raiders were, the one thing that Al Davis cared about, he cared about his players. He hated his coaches, but he cared about his players, and he cared about winning. And we went to the Super Bowl that year, but lost to Tampa.
That's right. That's right.
Crazy, man. So you how many Super Bowls did you play in total?
I played in 5 and won 4.
That's crazy, man. That's a hell of a career, JB.
And when I look at injuries now, and I had 20 documented concussions, but I never missed a game. When you count playoffs, playoffs and Super Bowls, I played in 269 straight games.
And a backer filling A gap, Smitty.
Right. Now, let me ask you a real question.
Yeah.
Like, being who you are now, retired for a while, looking back, do you have any regrets on doing that, or would you do the same thing again if you were playing today?
You know what? At the end of the day, I loved playing the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. You know, I wouldn't tell any of the organizations that I'd play for free, but I would have played for free. I loved it that much.
It's a difference, man.
that
Try to
was-
tell this youngster over here, Bill, that he just don't understand, man.
No, look, JB believes every player now is soft. No player loves the game. Nobody loves football.
Hey,
that's just not true. That's not true.
I'll give you, I'll give you a little story.
Talk to me.
So at the 49ers, because if you lost a game, it was like death in the facility. It was like somebody died.
Yep.
And coaches wouldn't talk to you. It's like they treated you differently. And one of my coaches at the Broncos passed away a couple years ago, and I went to his service, and Pete Carroll was there. And I was telling Pete Carroll about how it was at the 49ers in my early days. And he said, Bill, if I did that and treated players like that nowadays, they would go talk to HR, whoever that is, or the general manager, and said, oh, the head coach isn't talking to me, So this is
they fucking demand a trade, Bill.
Yeah, it's a different. Hey, you know what it is? It's this balancing act of being friends with them. I kind of call it, the attaboy and the pitchfork. You gotta, as a football coach, you gotta demand excellence out of these guys, and you got to push them to the brink of what they're capable of doing. And how do you do that when you're like best buddies with these guys?
Yeah.
And it's hard to do.
I agree. I got 2 more things for you before you get dry. I can't thank you enough, man. I got to ask you something. You play with a great D tackle, Keith Traylor, who was a JUCO guy, Kansas, Coffeyville JUCO, who I knew about and everything. He was with you, I think, in Denver.
He was.
How important was having a guy like Keith? And I know he got bigger as his career he got bigger and heavier. How important was that, having that plugger, a two-gapper that you can feed off of in Denver in those years?
You know what? Keith Traylor was an amazing football player. He was tough. He was nasty. And when you needed a play, he was the guy you wanted, taking on those big offensive linemen, keeping you free so you could fly around and make plays. And he loved doing it. He loved the game of football, and he was a joy to play with. I love that dude. Love that guy.
No doubt. I was wondering because I know there's a lot of D tackle nowadays. Like you said, the D linemen in this league are so freakish, so athletic. But are they willing to stick their head in there and really play every snap like Keith was? Like I don't know. That's why I think you win Super Bowls, right, from the D line back.
Oh, for sure.
You do.
100%. You need us.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Not you.
Who was your favorite teammates? Like if I had to ask you, put you on the spot, just top 3 favorite teammates as far as locker room guys, just guys who you got along with the most. I'm just curious.
I will say this, as far as the most respected guy I ever played with, Ronnie Lott.
Ooh.
And I'll give you guys the little story. Is my introduction to the NFL.
Okay.
So I'm playing in my first preseason game. Down in the Coliseum, we're playing the Raiders. And I get to play the whole second half. And Ethan Horton was their backup tight end. He was a running back out of North Carolina. Al turned him into a tight end, and we were chippy the whole second half. There's this one play where he pushed me in the back, and I went down to the ground. I popped up and kind of ran back to the huddle. Next day in the film room, that play showed up. Ronnie Lott, after that play showed up, he turned on the lights and he said, George Seifert, our defensive coordinator, he said, George, turn off the projector. And he walked over to me like this. And he said, Romo, if I ever see anybody push you in the back and you don't do something about it, I will kick your ass.
Damn.
And he went on to then use it as a teaching moment for our defense. And he said, men, if you're going to let somebody punk you, they'll punk you right out of this league. This is a game of respect. And because everybody in the NFL will see that play. And you know what? And to that day forward, I never let anybody punk me again. In fact, I was probably the one doing the punking.
Yeah. Hey,
Smitty, I think we realize now why we saw Romo do what he does.
Yeah. I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now hearing that story.
I fucking love it. I got to ask you, Coach, Bill, before you get out of here, like, I don't know if when you see the game and I see quarterbacks get pushed by a D lineman and the O line just walks away, and I see fucking all the shit you're talking about makes me blood boil, man. Like, I don't understand it anymore. I call it the jersey swap era because we all want to fucking jersey swap after the game and sign each other's jerseys and shit.
Yeah.
I'm so over that part of it. It makes my blood boil. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, I will say this. I was the gladiator for those 3 hours, and I wanted to hurt you. I didn't want to just beat you. I wanted to hurt you. But after the game, I'd be fine to shake your hand. I don't know if there's anybody I played against. Well, maybe some I would want their jersey, but I don't know.
After they retired, huh?
Yeah, maybe that.
It's just a different era, though. If you played today,
when I see all that stuff going on, it's like, man, I started on Monday.
Yeah.
Starting Monday, I started hating who I was going to play against. I hated their coaches. I hated their trainers. I hated everyone on their team because it took me all week to build that nastiness up to where it was, no disrespect to soldiers or anything, but I wanted to hurt people. And it was all out war on Sunday.
Now,
but when that game was over, man, I gave myself about 24 hours to 48 hours before I started hating the next team again.
Now, real quick, what was that process though of building that hate? Because you just said that this is interesting. You said it took you all week to just hate on everything about what's the problem? Like, was you just in your room just looking at pictures, throwing darts at the wall? Take me through that process.
It started with looking at film of the team I'd start my film study on Monday.
Okay.
And, and the better the team was, the more I hated them. I mean, think about it. When I was at San Francisco, we played teams like the Saints. You play the Saints, man, they bring the wood. They bring the wood hard. We played the Giants my second game of the year, and the Giants, back on their Purcells, they were nasty. They wanted to beat you physically, and they thought the 49ers were a bunch of powder puffs. Well, we had to match that intensity, And I just had to get that mindset because at the end of the day, guys, you know, when you're out on that field, I had 350-pound linemen that wanted to bury me and potentially try to kick me out of the league like I didn't belong. And I had to match that. And it was every week, every single week, matching that intensity and bringing it. And that's why I say it's all out war, you know, on Sunday. And no disrespect to our soldiers or anything like that. That was just my mentality.
That consistency of redoing it every week is what I think the game lacks right now. We don't have the consistent, you know, soldier mentality. No offense, like you said, but these players now want jersey swap and it's all so much money. Bill, there's so much money. Fuck, why be mad at you? Why hate you anymore?
They don't want to get hurt. They want to be able to have their phone on the sidelines so they can post a video for social media. I mean, give me a friggin' break.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that to the young folks.
Love it. Fucking right. No doubt.
Hey, I guarantee you would have Twitter, TikTok. You making TikTok videos, dancing. It's
right.
Different.
Yeah. Bill would choke fuck slam you.
Hold on. He'd do that, but he'd do it on TikTok. He'd just send me on TikTok and post it.
Bill, man, I can't thank you enough, man. We got to do it again, maybe during the football season or something. I hope everything.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah, I hope everything's good with you, man.
Sorry I was late today.
You can be late every day. JB's late every show. You're good.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you, brother. We'll talk soon.
Take care, guys.
All right, brother.
Going.
Man, back to back.
Legends. Like I can't breathe or nothing. I haven't taken a piss all day.
We got two more legends. We got two more legends joining us, man. With Rex Hudler, Major League Baseball legend. Rex Hudler.
I need some energy.
Yeah, and we got our own legend, Shaun King, joining us right after this. We haven't taken a break yet, so tell Shaun to hang tight. We'll be back in 4. I got to take a piss and refill, and we got Rex Hudler on the other side with Shaun King joining us. So we got the next hour will be loaded. Pound that like, subscribe. We'll be back in 4.
Account posts a girl working with quote unquote route guide who's a South Florida trainer.
This. Coach love this.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, look at it. Oh, hold on. She down there look good. Why y'all playing around?
She looked like Travis Hunter.
Hold on. Bullshit. Her feet look kind of good, Steve. Like all jokes aside.
You're looking at her feet. Okay.
I don't know.
All right, Smitty, can I just tell you something?
It's a good workout.
This is the football version of.
Let me line up the front. Can you put her head up? Put her head up, running the route, like facing me.
Hold on, real quick, Jason. This is also a kid. I want to make that clear. This is not a grown woman. Before you do what you about to do, this is a 14-year-old, 13-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid.
Hey, Smitty, I'm from Compton. Starting none won't be none. So here's the go. Let me see. All right. So is this her route?
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Throw that motherfucker down. Fuck all that footwork shit. Give me that. Get the fuck out of here. Why are we showing all this bullshit?
Flag. It's for flag. She's not playing
football. Stop. I'm going to choke slam the fuck out of her.
That's not cute, Jason. She playing flag.
I want to know this, Smitty. Have you ever seen a motherfucker run a route like this?
What's wrong with JV, Steve? Tell me something wrong with him, seriously. Look at him. Look at him. Look at my co-host, Steve. Something's actually wrong with him. Like, we got to go get him checked.
Have you ever seen a route? Hey, Alan, does your whiteout start off running on everybody?
What show do our co-host, man?
God damn, homie.
Hey, you almost look like you were doing the Roger Rabbit there.
Hey, have you ever
like you're doing the RoboCop?
I'm out of breath, Smitty. But hey, have you ever seen a
know you out of breath.
hot? Have you ever seen a hot?
Out of shape ass.
Hey, have you ever seen a hot? Hey, Steve, you ever seen a hot get into the phase and get into the route?
Why you breathing so hard, homie?
I smoke a cigar.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I mean, Smitty, that's the football version of when boxing hits. Every mediocre boxer look kind of good on mitts. They all look like pound
This is
for pound.
unbelievable.
I don't,
But my question for y'all: why are we mad that she's just doing some cone drills?
I'm not.
All it is. It's just some cone. Like it ain't.
Why-
They're not
why-
saying she's about to get drafted in the NFL. They're not. She's just doing some cone drills. We know flag football is something the NFL is promoting. Agree to disagree. But
Hey,
it's
by
all-
the
she's just doing drills.
DI.
Smitty, about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
the NFL Network during the summer showed some international flag football competition, and I just all right, I'll watch it.
I need water.
And it was the U.S. against Mexico. Man, those Lupes and those Henrietas, they beat the hell out of us. Seriously, the Garcias and the Lopezes. And
Flag is a different sport.
Blew us out.
Flag is
I
different
couldn't
than regular
believe
football.
it.
Yeah.
Steve, did you hear last week's Mexican word of the day?
You're breathing so hard right now,
No,
Jason. You good?
órale, what's up?
You never heard the last week's Mexican word of the day?
Nuh-uh.
Bailey, do you have the video? Can we show it? I'm surprised you didn't see the Mexican word of the day. Cisco and Ruben gave it to me. I reiterated it. Actually, Cisco did not give it to me. He called me a gringo. But we did a video. Our take.
Short. It might be a short. Yeah, give us 1 second. There's a short,
yeah.
Bailey. You can find on
Hey,
Instagram.
Steve. So you're telling me that over in Jalisco, they beat us?
Years ago.
Wherever it was, no, it's a couple years ago, and it was a blowout.
But it was young.
Was a blowout. Yeah, they were young women. I think they were like above 18. It was like an international tournament. They had production. The NFL Network was kind of had the announcers. I was like, wow, they're beating that. It was almost like 35-0. I'm just telling you, it was actually a blowout. I was like, wow.
Because we're not
Yeah, I
investing in
remember
the sport enough with our women because JB was so anti-flag that we're getting embarrassed now.
Take a listen, Steve. This is the Mexican word of the day last week. This is Mexican's word of the day. My homeboy asked me to give a shout out, so I said, let me do a Mexican word of the day. We say Mexican here in the hood. We don't pronounce anything like with a C or as a Mexican.
I love that.
Smitty, the word is chum.
Chum. Okay.
CHUM.
Chum. Have I heard the word chum?
Chum's like you chum for fit when you fish. You
like
chum.
fish. Yeah, like this. Yeah, chum. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know it was a Mexican word. All right. Shout out to chum.
My whole family is illegal. I hope ICE don't catch them. I hear some humming. Shaun got humming over there. Shaun, you cooking something?
Early morning washing machine.
What up, man? I don't know if you heard Bill. Did you get to play against Romanowski?
Yeah, he hit me in the back of the head, like second play of the game. We had practiced like this special play all week. We were gonna fake the.
I should have brought you in. No, why don't you text me?
We were gonna fake the mid zone, and then fake the reverse, and I was gonna throw a bomb to start the game off. We had won like 6 games in a row. And we had never won on the West Coast, and we didn't win on the West Coast that day. He hit me in the back of the head. It was a rough game. I think they beat us 45 to zip, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Where was he at?
He was in the Raiders. We were playing in Oakland. They were still in Oakland. This was when Gruden was still the head coach of the Raiders.
Yeah. Then he goes to Tampa and beats the Raiders.
Right. But this was before. This was before that, and we were. This was. I think this was my rookie year, and we had won like 5 in a row or something crazy.
So the Raiders were already transcending towards the Super Bowl team. They were already getting better, huh? again. I mean,
yeah, they had like Charles Woodson. That's when they had Wheatley and
Tyrone Wheatley.
Backs. Yeah, they had Tim Brown. They had a good team.
Yeah, no doubt. I remember. All right, I don't know. You weren't on with us yesterday. We got to pick our 5. We took 5 players each, and I know you're a golf advocate. Right now, I think Justin Rose is still on top. I think the lead's getting cut by Adberg. Where are you at? Did you take anybody? I took Bryson DeChambeau on BetUS to win it all. He's climbing. He's 4 back right now. Scotty Scheffler is also right there. As my dark horses, though, I took Patrick Reed, a live golfer, Jason Day, who's 2 under. And I think I took Patrick Reed's 1 under. And I took Smitty took Alexander Schauffele, who's now even. He was 1 over, so he'll make the cut. I think the cut line's about 2 over, Shaun, probably. I would say maybe it gets to 3, but I doubt it. It's probably at 2. I also got Brooks Koepka in this thing, and DJ. And DJ's not doing too hot right now. He might miss this bitch. I don't know. Who do you got?
So here's how I approach betting golf. You can't play them all. Right, like I love my guys that I know in the golf business, but they'll have like 30 bets out there, and I'm like, man, look, I'm gonna take a swing at one player. I bet Hideki Matsuyama at 28-1 to win the Masters. He was rolling along yesterday. I think he was like maybe 2-3 under through like 11. It was either on 12 or 13. He hits a dime right at the flag. It hits the flagpole and rolls back in the water. And he kind of sputtered a little bit after that. So I haven't looked at it today yet. I'm not sure what the leaderboard looks like. But once we get finished with the show, I'm definitely going to get me a stick right around the corner, get one of them nice leather chairs, and watch the Masters all day.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Hey,
lifestyle, man.
right now.
Matsuyama, where is he?
Oh, Matthew, I don't know. Justin Rose is just fucking. He's 1 under today, but he's 3 ahead of Adberg. I mean, he had a 7 under day yesterday. Of course, we know now, but can he keep that up? I think Justin will fall off. So Matsuyama's 1 under. Hideki's 1 under, okay. tied for 16th.
If you ask me right now to pick a golfer, I would pick Scheffler. Because anytime Scheffler gets off to a good start like this, he's definitely the most trustworthy guy come Sunday.
The guy I'm taking is DeChambeau, which I did pick on BetUS at the beginning of this thing. There's a reason why. In Augusta, in the Saturday Sunday rounds, it's a long course, and he's the longest on tour. I think his drive off the top and his second shot, and listen, as long as he gets it up there early, he can be bad in the short game. He'll still make par, and he's going to hit a couple eagles in this deal, and I think he's still going to be on the mix. He's 4 back, so I like his deal right now on a Friday going into the weekend.
He has no shot. His stretchologist / yoga teacher is sick. He can't bend down and touch his toes.
Yeah, I'll try to tell JB that as well.
He like Smitty. He got muscles for no reason.
Hey, is Rory McIlroy one of the biggest choke artist major players you've ever seen?
What did I tell you? I think it was on Wednesday. I say Rory walks around with a dynamite pack in his pocket.
No, I know. I know. I can't stand him.
He's not. I wouldn't bet anyone. Rory's that guy you're never gonna get good odds on, and he's also never gonna win.
That's the thing about it. He's a 1 or 2 ranked golfer in the world every single year, like major, and it's like, oh fuck, I got to take him, but he's no money on him. Like you said, it's a great point. You can't make no money on him, and the motherfucker ain't gonna win.
Right. So it's like, what's the purpose? It's a waste of time, homie.
That's what I just said, Darnell.
You know what? My Australian is balling though.
Well, right quick, Smitty. When it comes to betting golf, I like to take guys that are 25 or more to 1. Because I look at it this way. Trying to pick who's going to win a golf tournament post Tiger Woods in his prime is impossible because there's so many guys that if they show up with their A game, they can actually really win it. So if I bet 25 or more to 1 guys, all I got to be right is once every 23 events to make a little money.
Yeah. Hey, Shaun,
Rory be 4-5 to 1. I mean, you're going to lose Rory.
Yeah. Hey, we got about 10 minutes before the legendary Rex Hudler joins us. You're a baseball guy as well. We've already had legends, Mike Martz, of course, who I've known a long time, and Bill Romanowski. And now we got another Super Bowl champion.
Y'all have Mike Martz on?
Yeah.
Oh man, I told you to text me, man. I got a bone to pick with Marcy.
What's the beef? You got a bone to pick with a lot of people, Shaun.
Listen, man, Marcy cut me for sorry ass Dan Orlovsky in 06 with Detroit. I want to call him to the fire about that bullshit.
I mean, listen, you're my OG, you're my brother. Let's be real. Dan Orlovsky was better than you, homie. It is what it is.
You ain't gonna get nothing out of me off that, man. That's such a ludicrous statement. I don't even deserve like a legitimate, like actionable response.
So you telling us right now on April 11th, Friday, 2025, that Shaun King was better than ESPN's Dan Orlovsky?
At every step of our career, little league, varsity little league, high school, college, pro, every step of the way.
So arm strength, you.
Everything.
Speed, athleticism, you.
Everything.
Accuracy, you.
Everything.
Mentality.
Only thing he had me beat on, he was taller than me.
All right, that's fair.
Cut this. I'm gonna send it to Dan. I'm gonna text Dan personally.
Text to him right now.
I'm gonna text him this personally right after this show.
You think I give a damn?
I'm just saying he might call you out.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna actually do it, Shaun. Unlike Smitty, who won't send it to Keyshawn, I'm actually gonna send it to
JB.
I'll show Keyshawn everything.
Hey, JB, Dan was one of them guys, like, he'll have like 2 bad practices in a row, like on a Thursday, Friday, and everybody will be leaving town, like to go visit their family, because Detroit not one of them spots where all the guys just stay full time. And he's the one, he'll stay, he'll be in the weight room till like 10 p.m. on that Friday, knowing everybody gone. He'll be up there in Mart's office Saturday morning, Sunday morning. He's that dude.
Damn it, I wish I would have known that. I would have fucking asked Mike that so quick.
I know. Bring him back on here real quick. Dang.
Fuck, let me text. I'm going to text Mike right now,
For real, though. See if we can get him on for 5 more minutes. He might be free. Who knows? He's chilling. He's 70-something, retired. I would love to get that story out.
The cold part, when I tell you, though, you're not going to believe the other part.
Just say it, man. Fuck, we trying to blow up.
I can't say it, but you're going to shit when I tell you.
I want to shit.
Homie, you're not going to believe what I tell you, though.
You can't keep saying that, homie, like without saying it.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, dog. I promise you won't believe. Like, it's going to be unbelievable, homie. Here, that's what I'll tell. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in the private chat what's going on, and then you guys read it. Yeah. And please, just, I don't know, what do you want to do? Take a moment to pause. I don't know what you're going to do, but.
All right. Well, while you typing, I want to ask Shaun this. So, Shaun, was that your last year in the league?
Yeah.
That year. So, okay.
Yeah, they got me up out of there.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, but it was only like it was gonna be year 7, so it wasn't like I was old. And watch how the Lions like hose me. So Rob Marinelli was the D-line coach in Tampa. He was now the head coach for Detroit. Dude, they signed me to compete with Joey Harrington. It was supposed to be me and Joey Harrington competing for the starting job. That's why I went to Detroit. I signed with Detroit. They cut Joey Harrington, signed John Kitna and Josh McCown.
I'm sorry, Shaun. I'm not trying to.
That's crazy.
Did you read that, Shaun?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
No way.
Wow.
No way. This is complete. I did not think you were about to say this.
I told you weren't going to believe it. I told you weren't going to believe me, homie.
This is insane, homie. For what? What are you?
You haven't heard lately?
Oh, damn. You should have told me before I. Damn. I would hop off camera.
Hey, what did Martz say about Joey?
Huh?
What did Martz say about Joey?
He said he was a bitch.
And see, so listen to me. So, JB, this is why I went to Detroit. It was supposed to be me competing against Joey Harrington. No offense to Joey. I never actually got to do anything with him. Joey was a cool dude while I was there. I don't know nothing about the football part. We just threw a couple times with the guys, but they cut Joey and brought in John Kitna and Josh McCown. Orlovsky was already there.
So he said to us live that
Ooh, I wish I have been on here. Oof.
Yeah, basically he said he came out, didn't want to be there, and he said, "Hey man, why don't you stop acting like a prima donna?" And he went out some lazy footwork, and Mike ripped his ass and called him basically, what did he say, Smitty, verbatim? He said, quote, he called him fraud.
Yeah, he called him. Yeah, basically,
he said, you're a fucking fraud. And then he said he left and went into the GM and told at the time it was Matt.
Yeah, Matt Millen,
former Niner. He goes in and tells Matt, my girl's dog died. I got to take time off.
See, I ain't know none of that because I hadn't really gotten fully to Detroit at that time. I had signed with Detroit, but this was like that period between the draft and the first rookie minicamp when everything ain't really cracking yet.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask Martz. Because me and Martz both lived in the Fairlane Hyatt. I want to ask him, like, hey, man.
Wow.
Historically, now, you ain't have a lot of quarterbacks look like me. I'm trying to figure out what the hell the problem was because I know I was better than Darnell Orlovsky.
I'm going to send this to Dan Orlovsky. Don't get it twisted. Man, we got a special guest, though. Major League Baseball legend, man. I can't thank him enough for joining us. First-round draft pick of the New York Yankees. Legendary stuff here. Now he's in the game as well still. He is a Fresno, California native. Another Cali guy, Smitty. I don't know, man. I think the best athletes are from Cali. Sorry, Shaun. But anyway, let's bring our main man in. Rex Hudler joins the show, man. Can't thank him enough.
Rex, nice to meet you.
What up,
fellas?
Raise the
Fellas.
roof.
Hey, let me just share something with you.
Roof.
You can't use legend. You can't use great. Any of that in the same sentence with me. I'll just tell you that right now.
You're humble. You're humble. Stop
Hey,
it.
we love. See, that's the difference, Rex. Shaun and I try to bring the old school head wisdom to our young co-host here, Big Smitty, who we don't see. Humility was just a thing that came with us, and the arrogance was the thing we needed for confident performance.
Hey, now, look, fellas, you have to have that when you're out on that field, when you're out on that court, wherever you're competing against the world's greatest athletes. You have to have that edge. And if you don't, you're in trouble. And I call it, as being a broadcaster now, I call it confidence. That's the extra man you carry. And if you don't have him, you're in big trouble.
I tell Shaun it all every day, man. Thank you so much, Rex, for just dropping those early gems already.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. Big Smitty, look, you guys, what a huge blessing it was being God blessed me by giving me an opportunity as a senior coming out of high school, a full ride to catch passes from some guy named Joe Montana. Had a full ride, that's Dan Devine was there. I'll never forget that recruiting trip, how fun that was. And then I was going to play baseball my senior year just to have fun and say goodbye to the sport I loved, and ended up being a 18th pick overall by the Yankees. So God had blessed me with some really good opportunities as a young person. I took that baseball and ran with it and left God on the shelf and left him behind, and I tried to do it myself. I spun my wheels for 10 years in the minor leagues, but I never quit. I never gave up. And, man, once I let him back in the driver's seat and found me a beautiful wife, I got 10 straight years of the show. And, man, oh, man, I definitely do not drive my car anymore.
I'm about to rip my shirt and run through a wall right now, Rex. That's a testimony. That's a testimony right there. We appreciate you, Rex.
Sir, hey, look, Shaun, always the best part is of my job is I get to talk about baseball to the people, the Royals fans all over the country, and how much fun that is. 2.5 hours every night with a great partner, Ryan Lefevre, to be able to explain the game to the people, to share the love, the stories over the 21 years that I got to play. Just really feels special that I have a seat like that, and never, ever take it for granted. Show up to the ballpark every day happy, looking forward to lifting these young players up because it's their turn now. I had my turn. Yeah. Now it's their turn. You say good things about these young players. That way you never know who's listening, that next GM or that next team they're going to go to. You want to push these guys and say positive things about them. So that kind of helps keep me going. And it's so much fun to be able to love on the game of baseball and the young athletes who play it.
Hey, before Shaun jumps in, I got to ask you something because that was the first thing that you already alluded to that I was going to go right into. I knew you had a relationship and had an opportunity with Joe Montana in South Bend. I did not know. So it was Dan Levine that was the head coach.
Dan Devine.
I'm sorry. Dan Devine, who was the coach at the time of the famous movie Rudy, correct?
That's right. Rudy was just a few years before that. But, fellas, when I went to visit there, it was so impressive. I mean, there was a lot of snow on the ground, and being from Fresno is kind of a desert climate. I was in a different atmosphere, and then when I saw Touchdown Jesus, and then walked in Divine's office, and in his office there was cotton ball memorabilia, Ara Parsegian, Joe Theismann stuff, hanging on his walls. And back in our day when we only had 4 channels on the TV, I remember on Sunday mornings they would replay the Notre Dame game from that previous Saturday, the night before, and I would try to be quiet because I really didn't want to go to church, so I was trying not to wake up my parents, and I wanted to listen. And Lindsey Nelson and the Irish were unable to move the ball, so we turned to further action. I mean, I used to love that, and now here I am. Dan Devine's offered me a scholarship. I was flabbergasted. And of course I said, Coach, let me go home, talk to my parents. But sure enough, I called him and we hooked up with him, and it was just a great thing in a dream that never happened.
Hey, JB, we got to put Bishop in front of Rex. Bailey, can you add Bishop Rex Hudler?
Heck yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. The torpedo bats are all the rage. You look at that Royals lineup, people that watch and follow baseball, they know that Bobby Witt is box office. But one of the reasons they're only at 7-6 is they have not been able to find the power at the plate. Are they using the torpedo bats? If they are not, should they? What do you think about them?
Oh, that's great, Shaun. Hey, look, the innovations that we have in baseball and all of sports, really, the new technology is wonderful. To my knowledge, there aren't any Royals players using them. I would have loved to have had one myself because I made contact on the label all the time. I wasn't that great a hitter. I was a .261 career hitter off the bench, which really is not bad. But that torpedo bat, it gives you a bigger hitting zone on it. And certainly, I'm sure that all the noise it's gotten, a lot of our Royals will have one here before long, and we'll be watching it. But I certainly would have used it because down there that sweet spot moves it down a little bit more towards the handle. And the modern day pitching nowadays, fellas, man, it's tough. I see it every single day, every night, and it's amazing to see the upper 90s. We had occasional guys that I was an 80s and 90s player. So in that day, we had 95 plus, but not as many of them have it. Nowadays, they do. They have the backspin right on the baseball, so it's hard to stay on top of it. And then they have the split fingers that go down, so they have pitches that go everywhere. So really, it's a pitcher's game now for sure.
Speaking of that, sorry, no, real quick, Smitty, your Kansas City Royals pitching though is possibly top tier. I mean, it's up there in the major league right now. That's going to save you guys in this tough AL division, no?
Absolutely. Starting pitching is the main currency in the grand game of baseball. You got to have it. If you have it, you got a chance. Your offense don't have to be great. You mentioned, Shaun, the lack of power the Royals have. They've never had power. Now, that's about ready to change, though, with Jack Caglione, our number one pick from last year. That dude makes headlines in the minor leagues. But that's going to change. But in the meantime, all you need to do is score 4 runs, have a starter go 6 innings, and you got Hunter Harvey, Lucas Erceg, and Estevez to close the game down. You got 3 horses. That was the combination the Royals used. Small market team in 14 and 15 when they went to back-to-back World Series and won 1 and 15. Believe me, all you have to do is just have the lead. Like yesterday, they won by 1 run. They beat the Twins 3-2. That's all you need. So they have guys that can manufacture that. Shaun, you mentioned the great Bobby Witt Jr. Wow, what a pleasure to watch that guy every single night attack the game with his bat, with his legs, with his arm, with his fielding. He's a Gold Glover. This kid is a 5-tool guy for sure. And that 6th tool that I love the most about him, is his attitude and how humble he is. He's a humble guy, and it's so fresh to be around him. He smiles. He addresses you, yes sir, no sir. I mean, he's a freak. Major League Baseball needs to be standing on their head right now, having Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt, their two best players outside of Ohtani. But these Judge and Witt are beautiful characters that have nothing but love for others. And they talk about their team, not me, I. It's them and us. We're going to win. I love it.
Yes. And real quick, before I forget, Shaun had brought up the torpedo bats. We actually have a video, I think, of Big Papi reacting to the torpedo bat. Let's check this out.
I want to see it.
Big Papi, you saw this yet? You saw this yet?
Let me see this shit.
Yeah.
Shit sound like a fucking aluminum bat. I wonder why everybody's bitching about it. Fuck that, man.
It's nice.
You gotta hit it. Torpedo. Now I know why they call them torpedo, because of the head, huh? You know, like I say, everybody's bitching about it, but it's legal. You still gotta hit it.
Still gotta hit the ball.
So
yeah, what you would have did with that?
You give me a toothpick and I will hit with that motherfucker.
Hey, do your thing.
Hey, that's beautiful. Do you guys know what he was doing with that bat? Okay, pretend this pin's a bat. Okay, he's holding the bat on the sweet spot right there, and then you use your palm and you hit the top of the bat, and it'll make a sound. Supposedly, the higher pitched sound is the harder wood. That's what he was doing. Okay, and most ball players learn that. I learned it in Japan because the Japanese players, when I played there, they would always check all their bats and make sure it was high. Some of the bats that are hardwood give a bing, bing, and then the ones that are lower, like a boom, boom, they don't want to use those. They want the higher pitch. So it's really amazing. But I love Big Papi. I'm so glad you guys had that clip on there. That kind of guy, like some of these other guys, sells the game of baseball to the people. Great personality, great champion, and a great human being.
Let me ask you something, Brett Rex, real quick. I was told by Brett Boone, another legend who still has the all-time wins record in Seattle that year, and the Dodgers are chasing it out here on the West Coast where we are. I'm a Dodger guy growing up. Let me ask you something. He told me it was similar to like checking for a pumpkin or a pineapple.
Yeah.
Like
you better believe it.
On
yeah.
It, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It is. But you know, the secrets of the game, the grand game, have been passed down for 100 years. And what's good about it is players will pass it. It's been passed down. And so some of the terminologies that are used in baseball, I learned as a bench jockey when I was in my playing days. I rode the Pine for 9 and had a lot of fun. Played a couple times a week. And we learned these terms like can of corn. That's a routine fly ball. Just a little different sayings in baseball that have been passed down over the years. And now as a broadcaster, my job is to teach the people what some of those things are. But our sport, like, you know, unlike a lot of others, it has a deep, rich history. And it's so great to be able to touch that history. Every once in a while, see a player, one of the players in our day. Dave Winfield was my hero. That guy mentored me. I love Dave Winfield. What a class act, that guy. You know, he spent time with me as a young player, as a young Yankee, you know, passing the game on. That's what the veterans do. Once you become a veteran and in veteran status, if you stay around the game that long, it's hard to stay in the game that long. Then you start mentoring the young kids and you pass the game through. That's the way our game works.
I got a question for you, Rex, because to the casual baseball fan, and definitely to all the West Coast of the United States of America, it's ridiculous living out here. They think it's the Dodgers World Series to lose. I'm a guy that follows baseball closely. I think the National League is much more competitive. I think the Padres, the Mets, the Phillies, hell, I even think the Braves, when it's all said and done, are going to be in the mix. Is it the Dodgers? Is it that big a gap, or am I kind of more on the side of being right? I've been wrong before, so you can tell me.
Shaun, no, look, gosh, I've been in baseball for, almost over 40 years. And man, it's so hard to predict our game. You can't predict baseball when it comes to the round bat and the round ball. You never know what's going to happen. So it's a tough game to predict who's going to stay healthy, who's going down with an injury, who's your studs coming up from the minors, who are your, I call them what-if players. What if this guy gets hurt? What if that guy gets hurt? What you going to do? Man, you got to find a replacement to come up and perform. But baseball is so hard. I think, you know, sure, money can't buy you a championship. We've known that for years. Dodgers have known that. They just won their second one in some time at the 2021. That still counts, even though it was a 60-something game season. But that last run they had last year was beautiful, and it finally all worked for Dave Robertson and them. But there's no guarantee you're going to win. Look at the Central. Last year, the Central Division, where our Royals play, was supposed to be at the beginning of the season the worst division in baseball. It ends up being the best. Why? Because we had Tarek Skubal, Cole Reagans, we had Lugo, we had all the pitching was in our league, and all of a sudden now it's the best league in baseball. But all the great experts predicted that we would have a terrible year at the Central. We were the most dominant league there are. This year, the West, look at how those teams jumped out there. The Giants, the Padres. Now look at, I love it. Every year, you can't predict it. You just have to fasten your seatbelt, and you need to watch the daily action in baseball played every single day, fellas, unlike any other sport.
Hey, Rex, I got one more thing, JB. Rex, I may or may not have had a bet on Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases last night. By the way, that game didn't end at like 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Why? Because we're sponsored by Bet, US TV. Why is Major League Baseball still allowing the intentional walk? I had Bryce Harper, JB, over 1.5 bases. The Braves intentionally walked him twice. Why can we not eliminate that from baseball, make the pitcher compete, give the best hitter a chance to be great?
Shaun, I love it. It's a great idea, but baseball, there used to be you had to throw the 4 pitches, okay? And I saw a lot of things happen. That pitcher that's trying to lob that ball in there for ball 1 outside, it went over the catcher's head. The runners advanced. I like that strategy better than just putting 4 up and letting him go. But baseball's all about time now. They've cut down the time with a pitch clock, and they've done all that stuff. And so I think that put him on with 4, that's just part of the strategy of the game. But the way we're changing our rules, we're not like football. Football changes 2 or 3, 4, 5 times every year. They change rules. Baseball will change rules, but not all that often. It's tough, but it should be on the ballot. I totally agree. Maybe they eliminate that, make the pitcher pitch to them. They'll come up with something, Shaun. But yeah, it is kind of a bummer for a fan to go, oh, man, they're putting him on. You don't just see him hit. Yeah, I get you. I'm with you.
Rex, I got to ask you, when is enough rules changes enough, though? Like we've added the bigger base, we've added the clock on the pitcher, and you just mentioned how great pitching is now with the arm strength, 100-mile-an-hour plus guys. There's 1,000 Randy Johnsons and Roger Clemens now, right? Where are you at with the rules? And let's just play baseball and let's get back to hitting and pitching. And we adding a lot of things to this. I just wanted to ask you what your thought of. Is this the hardest hitting era because of the clock now and the pitcher's arm strengths being so great? Is this harder to come up every time? You're almost in the windup and you're barely getting out the batter's box, right?
Yeah, you got 10 seconds before the hitter's got to be stationed in the batter's box 10 seconds before, So they've gotten used to it. They've acclimated themselves. The pitchers, I remember our star pitchers so far this year, Chris Bubich, who's 2-0 and dominating. He had a hard time with that because he was a pitcher that would get up there in the stretch of the windup, and he had a lot of twitches. He would take his time, but the pitch clock actually helped him. So he eliminated all the twitching. He kept his focus. He hides the ball well, and he gets the ball and goes. And I think the pitch clock really has changed the game for the better for our fan base. Basically, those 3-hour games, 3.5-hour games, and broadcasting for the last 25 years. Wow, it would be like, you're like, oh my gosh, just throw the ball. Come on, pitchers would get up there and stammer. They're nervous. They didn't want to throw the ball. So that has helped our game. The big bases has helped our game. Stay away from injuries. Look at the size of these guys. I mean, we just saw Big Poppy. Big Poppy, he's a little bit out of shape right now because he's retired. But look, these are big men that come across there. And I've seen some nasty collisions in our day, 80s and 90s, that little bag. And these guys coming across that base, that throw goes wide, that first baseman gets in the way. I always would bumper up. I would put my bumper up if that guy got in my way, and I'm going to tea-kettle him. I'm going to run him right over. So that's helped a lot. Some of the rules, I'm not thrilled about you can't break up a double play. I mean, come on. That's strategy. That's what you want. You want that base runner to be able to knock the guy down, not hurt him, but knock him down and break up the double play. The run scores. I mean, that was a big change that I was never in favor of, and still I'm not. But if you're an old timer like me and you're in the grand game and you're in a high position sitting in a chair talking to the people about baseball, you can't sit there and go, well, back in our day, this is how, you won't have the job. You have to learn how to change. You have to learn how to morph into the plan. And baseball is beautiful. So you're gonna learn. Not everything you're gonna agree with, but you have to be able to handle the new technology and move forward. Talking about the modern day player and the modern day game is what you want to do.
Hey, Rex, I got one more question. And I bet baseball. And this is another pet peeve I have. Do outfielders not practice throwing the ball to home plate? It is unbelievable the amount of outfielders in Major League Baseball. This is supposed to be the best of the best, like the most accomplished baseball players in the world supposed to be MLB. The lack of outfielders that can accurately throw the ball to home plate. What is going on? This is an epidemic.
I totally agree with that. Okay, here's how they do it, Shaun. You have to strengthen that arm and throw. Okay, you can't wait till spring training comes and the whole 6 months you're off, not throw. Because, in my day, remember Rick Dempsey, the great catcher for the Orioles? Mm-hmm. That guy had an arm and he could throw guys out in his mid-30s. I think he caught till he was 40, caught 25 years in the game. He told me, Hud, I keep my arm strong. I throw 3-4 times a week during the off season. I throw long toss. That's how you stretch your arm out, by throwing long, high and far, not short and quick, high and far. And that develops arm strength. Arm strength by throwing and by playing the game. That's how you get better. Not enough guys focus on that. The emphasis now is on power and hitting, so they're spending more time in the cages. But if I'm an outfielder, arms and throwing guys out, outfield assists to me are very valuable. So you have to keep using it or you lose it. A lot of these young men, they don't have an emphasis on throwing, but man, you are right. I mean, center field, okay, you're going to have a hard time throwing a guy out from center field because that's such a long run coming in. But your corner outfielders, predominantly your right fielder, he has to have the best arm, not because of throwing to home, but because of throwing to third base. Third base is a long throw. Okay, the left fielder don't have to do that, and typically that left fielder don't have to have a good throwing arm. But you got to have your right fielder that's got a cannon out there, and I'm with you, bud. I wish it would change, but I'm just sharing with you. That's how you get stronger, by using it and throwing it instead of hitting it in the batting cage. Go ahead and throw a few guys out.
Rex, last thing for me. I can't thank you enough for joining us. Let me ask you something. You were with the Angel organization and called it for a while there here in Anaheim, where we're at, LA. Yeah. And let me ask you something. I know they got Ohtani. They had one of my kids, Keenan Middleton, who comes on our show here. He's with St. Louis right now, rehabbing. But where are you at with the Angels organization as a whole, and how are they going to do? What are they going to do to get over the hump and get back to winning one with like Mike Scioscia did and those times? Where are they?
Oh, you brought up Mike Scioscia. That brings a smile to my face.
Yeah.
What a winner! What a classy guy. He and his beautiful wife Ann. Oh man, 11 years I got to broadcast there with him being the skipper. How fun was that? He and Bill Stoneman put together the only world championship team they have in their history in 2002. He built it. They built it from the farm system. You had Tim Salmon, the kingfish, I called him. You have Darren Erstad, a human dart in center field that had no regard for his body. Troy Gloss at third. Man, you had Molina behind the plate, one of the Molina brothers. You had Eckstein, the X factor, who factored in all over the place. You used all your minor leaguers. That's how organizations like to do it. You want to use your own farm system, and they did it with ease. But the modern day organization, for whatever reason, they would invest in the Josh Hamiltons, the Albert Pujols, and some of these great star players, which is okay for sure for the fan base to have a star. But starting pitching is the currency. That's how you win games. We're signing some of these great starting pitchers instead of giving the money to the player. I talked about pitching. They haven't invested in pitching. Now this year they've gotten off to a good start because they're pitching better. But you've got to have starters and you've got to have a pin to win. That's how that's you win basically baseball games. So they let Sosha go, they let Soman go, and sometimes when you make your own decisions in the higher up department, they're not always the right decision. Now I'm not saying I've never ran an organization before. But I think if they had a better emphasis on starting pitching, I think they would be a little better off. And I'm pulling for them, and I hope they win something for those wonderful fans out there.
Love it. I'm a Dodger guy. I'm a Dodger guy, an LA guy, and we have LA and that Anaheim border. We stopped at Orange County. Hey, we don't like the Ducks, the Angels. We don't like the Clippers when they used to play at the pond when you were calling Angel games. We're Lakers, Kings, Dodgers over here. So it's a different deal. But
hey, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, there's plenty of room and plenty of love to go around, fellas. Believe it.
Like who you like, love who you love.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
And
No doubt.
That's what makes it fun. But to be able to go from one market to another. And I played for 7 teams in 3 countries. I broadcasted for 2 markets now. Kansas City is so fun. It's fresh. Oh my God!
Now I gotta ask you this though before you go.
Right.
Does Kansas City have the best barbecue? Let us know right now.
What? That's no contest. Look, and I don't consider myself a Kansas Cityan fully, but I have the last 14 years been here, and I moved my family here. We invested here. So I've got other places around the country where I've had barbecue. There is nothing even close to it.
Texas?
Texas is good, but it ain't close.
Come on, Bishop.
Oh man,
stay in the word, Bishop.
We got Jack Stack. We got Q39. We got
Rex.
many. Yeah.
Rex, don't take away an ad from it. We know you live in Kansas City. You're a pillar of the community, but cut it out. This is the realest show on earth, baby.
Oh, I love you guys, and I'm so happy to be on there. But look, it's okay to disagree, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, look, we used to have a contest with the Cardinals. Okay, the Cardinals are on the other side of the state. So when I first got here as a broadcaster, we would have a barbecue contest, and the Cardinals, the St. Louis would bring their barbecue guy against our barbecue guy. And they stopped doing it because it was hands, and they had judges that were impartial, and every time they chose Kansas City's barbecue blindfolded with knowing just because of the taste. And the Cardinals in St. Louis said, "Uncle, we don't want to do this contest anymore." They gave up. So look, nothing wrong with everybody else trying to copy it, but you ain't gonna find a better place for barbecue.
Hey, I used to say I was there, man. I lived in St. Joe's, obviously, for a hot minute, and then I've been coaching in Kansas and been around there for a long time. Like, what is the other spot? LC's, I believe there's one.
Yeah. Q39 is the popular one. Now you got Joe's. Joe's is big. And
Joe's always was good.
You come to our beautiful ballpark at Kauffman Stadium, they have all that there now. They have that there. The only thing that's missing is instead of the hot dog race, why don't we have the barbecue race with all of our main barbecues in there? Now I've mentioned that to some front office, and I think it might be a little bit too expensive for them, but still, I think it'd be great. You got Milwaukee. They have the sausage race. There's other places that have they're what they're known for, but look, it's so much fun, especially for people that come from out of town. We love sharing, man. We love sharing with everybody. So y'all come out to Kansas City. If you don't want to watch the World Championship Chiefs, come out and watch the future World Champion Royals. Believe that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, Rex, I can't thank you enough for joining us, man. We got to have you on again. Hopefully, man, you guys, you in Kansas City makes a run here. Hopefully, we'll see you play on my Dodgers.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, we'll take them. Pitching wins. You guys have pitching too, no question about it. But I don't know if your back end is as strong as ours. We'll see.
Talk about it, Rex. Talk about it, Rex.
Hey, Rex, I appreciate you, brother. Good luck, man. God bless you. I appreciate you.
Rex.
Guys, you guys are great. Thanks for letting me babble on here, man. But I love sharing the grand game. And no doubt about it.
Always. All right, Rex, I appreciate you, brother. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Rex. Legendary Rex Hudler, man. I remember him here in Anaheim when he was calling Angel games. That's why I had to ask him, man, because I know Ohtani was there for that brief moment, and they never really got over the hump.
Hey, Bobby Witt Jr. is legit. A lot of people don't know him because Kansas City, don't get a lot of national TV games.
Yeah.
But Bobby Witt is the real
He's the
deal.
real deal, man.
Nah,
he was
he is.
right about everything he says, except the barbecue, according to Shaun.
Right. Anytime you got to put all that sauce on your barbecue, you can't compare it to the South where like it's disrespectful to put sauce on our
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been all over KC. I'm gonna be honest. Let's have a real conversation. I've been all over Kansas City.
Gates.
And I love it. I love the food. It's good, but it ain't close to Austin, Texas. It ain't close.
Dog.
It ain't close to Memphis. It ain't close to fucking
Georgia, Mississippi, Florida. It ain't.
I'm gonna be honest, dog. You can go to Louisiana and get better in a gas station.
No, hey,
I'm not lying, homie. I'm not lying.
When I barbecue, I don't allow sauce.
Yeah, you saw. Hey,
That's
Shaun.
how fire my meat
You
is.
had my barbecue, Shaun. You had my barbecue.
Yeah, you
didn't need no sauce. You didn't need no sauce. Smitty over there dousing it.
This is where we disagree. Now, listen. I understand where y'all come from. You're saying the meat is so tender and flavorful, you don't need it. Cool. I'm cool. The word need, you're right. You don't need it. People like me, we like sauce. We enjoy sauce. So it's not about the need. To me, the sauce just.
So then go stop by Famous Dave's. Go stop by Famous Dave's or something and get your own. Because you ain't tasting nothing but the sauce.
No, it ain't.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
My mouth works great, Paul. So I can taste the flavor and the seasoning of the ribs and the sauce. So I'm getting all the flavors. I want all the flavors.
Hey, man, I don't know what it is you're doing with your hands. You got your hands all in me and JB face over there, but you're not putting no sauce on my meat.
I gotta be honest though, man, and it's I think I've told Smitty this before, and I'm gonna just it's crazy where this fucking place was, but
I got 3 minutes.
You got 20 minutes. Millersville, Indiana is the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. And it's at a place called the Feed Store, and it's on the river, and it's on the border of Louisville, Kentucky, and in a place called Millersville, Indiana. It's called the Feed Store. I don't know if it's still there or not. You go over the bridge, and you're at Joe's Crab Shack in Louisville. That's how close it is. It's a 5-minute drive over the bridge. It's the best food barbecue I've ever had, and it's in a big shithole in Indiana.
I believe that. I lived in Indy for a year, so
it ain't close to Indy, really. More Louisville, but yeah.
What a lot of people don't understand about Indy is really country as hell. Like, so people there got like farms, like it's almost like a state full of homesteaders.
Yeah, it is
good as hell, don't it?
You do.
It's
natural.
I like Shaun. Shaun say some bullshit, and he say some real shit. He good balance. Like that was some real shit. Indiana got some real good food.
First of all, if you're gonna compliment me. Don't like slap me in the back of the head and then tell me, you're right. Come on, cut it out. But for real, like it's a country ass state, so it makes sense that they would have good food.
We got a lot of good food. Paris in the chat, who does our social, said Chicago has the best food, hands down.
I like Chicago food. I live there. I do like Chicago's food.
I do like their food. I've been there once.
Ain't no food worth dying for. I'm not going to Chicago to eat. They're trying to kill you in Chicago.
Memphis too. Hey, real quick, man, I got to ask you. I know we didn't talk about it. I'm actually talking to Nico's dad as we speak. He's on our thumbnail. He was my college tight end. Listen, he's going at people on Twitter right now for saying certain things. He's a Uso from the hood. Good. We real tight. I'm trying to get him on right now, actually, real quick. He's actually traveling. I'm trying to get him on real quick.
You don't want him on here with me.
Hey, I'm trying to get him on. Well, you got to know the story first, though. That's why I had to do that, because obviously I know him. Give me your take, though. What are you thinking right now about what's going on and what you've heard, at least?
I have no knowledge or anything on the financial side. I'm strictly talking about the on-field evaluation. Nico needs to get better. If Nico had developed into the player that they anticipated when he came out of high school, he's not a freshman. He's been on campus multiple years. If he had developed into the player that they anticipated, Tennessee damn near could have won the national title last year. They had the pieces last year. It was because of his inconsistency throwing the football that they didn't reach their ceiling. So, like, and this has come from me coaching quarterbacks. If I coach Nico, the same thing applies to, what's the kid's name in Nebraska?
Look like Mahomes?
Yeah, baby Mahomes. What's his name?
Say it, Bailey.
Talking about Dylan Raiola?
Yeah, Rayola.
Yes.
I would tell him and Rayola the same thing. Forget our supporting cast. Let's control the controllables. When I put the film on and I fairly evaluate you, not based on any relationship, just based on me being a coach, you being a player, we got a whole lot of getting better to do. Like, so that's to me, that's where the conversation starts. Now, as far as the business side of that, I don't know what's going on over there. But just on the field, Nico got a lot of development left to become like a high-end draft pick or a title-winning caliber quarterback. He's very consistent.
And his dad will say that too, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. His daddy's not a guy like a helicopter. He's a parent that knows how to that played the game. Obviously, knows all the shit. He'll say that too. He gets on his ass about getting better and certain little things. So he'll probably agree to that. That is not the issue at all. So I'm just curious on this is the new. I guess this is the new age of where we're headed. I mean, this is renegotiating after he got a pretty good deal out of high school as being one of the top-notch guys coming out. And then we saw that bowl game as a freshman, right? And then everyone's, oh, shit, we're enamored with this long, big arm, guy. And then all of a sudden he plays last year in the SEC. And he had good games and he had bad ones. And we're like, all right, well, we got to get better. And so, like, this is kind of the sophomore slump thing that we discussed in the NFL with C.J. Stroud and these other guys, Bryce Youngs and all these guys. I think this is what it is. And he has to have that breakout year, Shaun. There's no question. I don't know where we are as college football athletes, though, where this is professional football. And there's no way you can tell me that, like Mike Martz said, the NFL is not going to directly be affected by this because we're worried about a bag more than we are taking a drop, learning the protections, learning the coverage. We're worried about money instead of the actual game, as Bill Romanowski just pointed out. He would have played for fucking free. We don't have that no more, and I get it. The times have changed. I understand the money is ridiculous and it's life-changing. I get all that. And I'm not going to sit here and say we don't understand all that. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not asking them to play for free. All I'm saying is when that thing's not the main thing, there's no way you can benefit in the NFL from quarterback play.
I just don't get asking for a renegotiation coming off a subpar year. Like, to me, it'd be different if, like, you outperform the original contract. But, I mean, hell, to be honest, and I know the family, it looked like they overpaid so far.
Yeah.
For what his expectations were coming out of high school.
Let me dive into that as we wrap the show up on this Free Game Friday. Here's the issue, though. Like, to Smitty's point that we argue about all the time, we're not turning down the money, though, if it's being offered. Like, that's the thing. I think we're setting these cats up for failure. Like, we're already offered this cat $4, $5, $6 million coming out of high school to be a freshman to play Alabama and LSU, and you were playing in Southern California, and let's be honest, a pretty mediocre division in high school football out here. It wasn't Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, which is the number 1, 2 teams in America. It was in at Warren High School in Downey. Like they've already given you the money, though, Shaun. Aren't you already like, fuck? I mean, I don't know how to fix this. If I'm giving you $5 million, Smitty, to come call games for me or be my co-host, and
I'm gonna take it
in India, and I don't care what you've done already. That's the problem. We're setting a precedent that's like unfixable.
That's why I said earlier, I don't blame the kid. I blame the system. If I'm Nico and I know that me renegotiating will allow me to get even more money, we could argue and say, well, does he deserve it? That's one conversation. But if whether I deserve it or not, if they're going to pay me that because of whatever leverage I've created, just because of the of the talent that I have or whatever the case may be, so be it. I can't blame the kid.
But you're missing an integral part here.
Talk to me.
Obviously, they don't agree to that, or he wouldn't be missing practice. It seems like he's missing practice because whatever valuation they have, and I'm sure that's based on what Carson Beck got at Miami, what Arch Manning is getting, based on the fact that Tennessee made the college football playoff. Like, I've been in these negotiations. I know how the agent tries to, shade it towards the player. But in reality, like, Nico hadn't played like that on a consistent basis. I don't even know what I mean, listen, I don't got all the information, but I'm just saying, like, the problem with what Smitty said was the team don't look like they're agreeing with it.
I hear you.
Bryson DeChambeau holds it out of the
Heard he
bunker.
on fire. I just got a text. He's
Holds
on
it
fire.
out. Holds it out of the bunker, homie.
He gonna pull a hammy though. You know, them tight pants.
Hey, real quick, Smitty, update on the show as we head into next week. The last few weeks have been unbelievable. Shout out to Craig and everybody that's helping us.
Yeah, shout out to Craig, man.
Next week, Shaun, on Monday, we got the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel.
Okay. What time? So I'll make sure I'm on here.
You ain't gonna be there. You ain't gonna be there.
I don't know. He don't like you, he said.
Yeah, he said he didn't like you.
I gotta ask him a question.
Well, let's tell us the question. We'll ask for you because he said he only like you.
We got Jeff Diamond.
I want to ask him what he'll do with Draymond Green.
Oh yeah, we're gonna ask him.
Please do that.
We're gonna ask him. Yeah.
Could Draymond play in his era?
We're gonna have you on. We got Keith Smith. We got former NFL executive, I believe, and Mr. Diamond on. I got to do some more research on that myself.
Mr. Diamond?
He was an NFL executive.
That's the homie. I'm doing the whole show Monday. I'm doing the whole show. I'll be on at 6.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Time out. We need you Monday anyway.
You out?
I got to work the show Monday. Damn, I'm mad. I want to be here with X-Man. I'm pissed off. JB, I'm going to send you a whole list of questions, JB.
Hey, nah, he don't like you.
No, I'm going to send you a whole list of questions.
No, he don't like you.
He don't like you, I mean.
See, Jason, that's why you need to woo. Yeah.
X-Man's on at 8:30, and then we got Jeff Diamond, I believe, who's a former NFL exec, and then we got Keith Smith, the former Arizona quarterback, who does a lot of things right now on social media. So we'll get into that, and then we got a loaded lineup all week long, man. So shout out to everybody, man. It's Free Game Friday, and we're out of here. I'll be on the yacht all day after Unpaved with Shaun Salisbury. It's a weekend. Ruben's birthday. I'm gonna take Ruben out, Shaun.
Happy birthday.
I'm gonna take Ruben out. We gotta go.
Felix. I call Ruben Felix. That's my Felix. Happy birthday, Felix.
We'll be out there all weekend. Grand Prix this weekend. I'll be watching it from the water and enjoy it.
Hey, put some suntan lotion on too. I don't want you to get all burnt up out there.
White people get it. I almost fell. I lost my fucking Ray-Bans yesterday in the water, man.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if Steve Kim told y'all, Jerron Boots in his fights this weekend.
Yeah, we talked about it Saturday. Big deal, huge fight. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna tune in. So I gotta jump y'all, take a shower, and then we're gonna I'm gonna see y'all, I guess, Tuesday. Make sure y'all with me, and I'm gonna be in the Discord all weekend. I'm gonna be on social media. We're gonna go from there.
Oh yeah, Shaun, you're with me the whole time, Shaun.
Bye, Smitty.
Make sure you up, Shaun. Don't get too comfortable in that seat, homie.
First of all, 4, 10, 12, 15. Those are the ages of my children. I'm never asleep at 6 a.m. on a weekday.
At BPS, a lot of kids. I mean,
Tyreek Hill. One mother who is my wife.
White people
all
shit.
from her.
Nah, that's WPS.
So there's nothing similar on any level to what Tyreek Hill and
you, Nick Cannon, Tyreek, Cromartie, y'all all in the same boat.
Don Camp.
Yep, it's all in the same boat. I ain't got no kids.
You can't have them. Anyway, we'll be back Monday with
my sperm don't work.
Hey, JB, he's shooting blanks over there. all them needles in the arm to get no muscles.
He's drinking that fucking juice, that bullshit juice with all the sugar in it, homie.
JB, look.
All that fucking Vita. That shit killing everybody. That fucking killing shit.
Hey man, he go to the health store to buy water, boy. You know he got problems.
I'm about to win the deal. Hey man, another plane crash in Boca Raton just happened. I don't know what's happening with.
Still on a note like that.
Y'all saw the
helicopter. I don't know what's happening.
How you doing,
Smitty? I don't know what's happening with aviation. I don't know what's going on in aviation.
I'm talking to Lil Shaun King right now. You know,
this Ashton, man. Ashton wanted to say what's up.
What's up, Ashton? Hi. How you doing? Yeah, I like to hear that.
Hey, Mr. JB got a boat, but he don't know how to drive it. He be running into stuff.
I know how to drive it. Great. You got to come out and see the dolphins.
And the shark.
Ain't no dolphins in Long Beach, man.
It was some seals and a shark there the other day.
There's dolphins everywhere. You didn't see the seals? You didn't see the seal. You didn't see the show. Look at the seals and the shark, homie. Yesterday.
He don't watch the show, homie. It's cool.
Yeah, he don't watch it.
You know what's surprising about the Cali water? It was a little dirtier than I thought. It was like
right there. Look at that, homie.
Man, that's AI.
Man, that was live yesterday. You could hear me talking. That was live.
Turn the sound up.
Oh, it's a shark. I told you. Shark. It's a shark. I told you. What do I know?
What do I know? It's crazy.
What do I know? Why is there 8 seals out of the water?
First of all, why is that dirty ass thing in the water? Like, that's the only, like, listen, for any of y'all that have never been to Long Beach Marina, the actual surrounding area is amazing. It's beautiful. They got a bunch of cool stuff you can pull up to, eat, shop, do whatever. But the actual water,
horrible.
God, I wouldn't jump in there. Like Ruben, a.k.a. Felix, jumped in there and say, boy, you're going to catch something.
Yeah, he already got it.
Dolphins and whales are dying right now. Dolphins and whales are dying. This is like, we have a bloom algae called bloom, B-L-O-O-M, not blue, according to some fucking idiot in the chat. And so bloom algae is toxic and it kills marine life, but that's kind of God's way of controlling the population. Kind of like, the COVID and shit. So we're going to dive into it, man. We'll see you guys on Monday on the realest show on Planet ERF. And don't miss it as the show continues to grow. Peace.
All right, fellas.